Yo, this is DPS Podcast, that's Damage Per Second Podcast, back at you one more time, episode 92. I am here with my co-host, Mr. Gaming Forte, apparently the GameStop Manager of the Year, great boss of the year, from what I've heard on Twitter. Congratulations to you, sir. But let me, before Forte does his intro, I want to shout out a couple people in the chat. Shout out a couple things real quick. Shout out to the 25 people who are live here at the moment. Appreciate you guys for coming through. Shout out to Elder Cat being the first one here in the chat. Steve Harlow, Missy Dies a Lot. Rosaire 00, that guy Smitty, Homie, Juan Kenobi. I love that name. RN, Ramon Terrell, K Asante in the house, Truth Serum, Audible, and Muck 45. Well, shout out to Truth Serum for renewing his membership as a part of the 10%ers. Appreciate you, Truth Serum. Oh man, shout out to Elder Cat for renewing his membership in the Min-Max build. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, we're gonna have a good show tonight, man. Look, I know it ain't much going on right now. You know, we still in that post E3, even though that was like a month ago, kind of hangover time period. But this is DPS, man. We always gonna have something to talk about. Always. Look, we gonna have a great show regardless. Forte, GameStop Manager of the Year. What's up, man?
What's up, though, man? I didn't expect that. I actually tweeted that out when I got home from work because it hit me real hard. Like he came into the store with his fiance.
Oh wow!
He came in with his fiance. They just happened to be out that way, and he was like, "Yeah, man." He was like, "I've been waiting for time to get this to you because you transfer stores, and I just had time to get out here." So he came out there to bring me that, and he's a really good artist. He like literally teaches high school kids and artists not performing. What is it called? Kind of artist is it called? I was about to say performance arts, but it's something different. Performance arts is where you actually act.
Yes. But this is like with visual arts. I mean, like
it might be visuals. It's something, some fancy way that they call it at school and stuff. But he teaches it and stuff, and yeah, he brought that out to me, and I almost had an emotion. I actually almost didn't. I really had an emotion.
Well, it was Destiny, so I know you like made a noise. That had zero masculinity in it whatsoever. It was just
masculinity went out the window when I saw it, man. Shout out to him. He's a really cool dude, and I'm super happy to see him really living his dream when it comes to teaching and stuff, because GameStop was like his pit stop until he got through with school for teaching, and he finally got his chance to do it, and he's doing good, man. But I ain't gonna lie, man, I squealed when I saw it. I was like, what? It was really cool. Had to share that with the community, man. It's always good. But other than that, man, your boy was sick over the course of the week. It was terrible.
It's going around, man.
Yeah, no, not COVID related or anything like that, fortunately, but it's probably the fact that I was just like, my body was telling me go to sleep, take a nap, do something, because it was like I was having headaches and stuff, and every time I tried to like do anything, I just wanted to lay down, and like today was probably the first day I started feeling a little bit better, but in general it was just like no energy. Can
I go ahead and just make sure people are aware of something. When I said GameStop Manager of the Year, it was like I look, if there was an award, I do think Forte would be at least the nominee for it, right? He's the least Horizon Forbidden West on the docket in 2022, right? But there isn't, like, literally, like, if you gotta look at the tweet, there's a tweet where one of his old co-workers had drawn a picture of a hunter a hunter guardian in Destiny as a gift for him, and called him, like, you know, a great boss, and he just had like this just affection for him, you know, for someone that, you know, who who I guess took care of him when he worked there at GameStop, and I that's why I was bringing it up. He's not really GameStop manager. I don't even, there probably isn't even an award like that because GameStop don't care about their managers like that. Let's keep it a buck.
There's probably a reward like that, but it definitely ain't for the company. It's definitely regional based if it is.
But no, I mean, like, if there was an award like that, but based off of what like every time I talk to you and what's going on in your store, I hear people in the background, I hear your employees in the background. If they had an award like that, you would definitely be deserving of it. Way more than I was when I was a manager in retail before I worked in IT, man.
He's like, I couldn't get away from you much fast.
Yeah, man, shoot, my employees hated my guts, man. So like having employees that really care about you says a lot. No, but what you been up to outside of being sick? What you been playing? What you been playing?
Man, I've been playing Doom. Because
which Doom? 2016 or Eternal?
Oh, I started with 2016 because I wanted to do Eternal next. I didn't want to jump right in it because I already know Eternal's the better game. So I want to jump into Doom 2016 first, go through that, beat it. Because I just got the itch after playing Shadow Warrior. That was like kind of Doom light. So I'm like halfway through Doom 2016. I'm gonna go through Doom Eternal after that. So that's what I've been pretty much doing over the course of the last couple of days, outside of just jumping on Destiny every once in a while. I did jump into Fortnite and I kept looking. Hey, you know what? I got the bug, Slow-Mo. I jumped into Fortnite just to see what skins were available. I'm waiting for some really, really epic skins to come available so I can buy them, so I could be like your $350 butt. Because you say you only spent $80, but I don't believe you.
Hey, look, man. Look, as far as I'm concerned, I spent $80 on the look. I did the math of what I remember purchasing, and I spent $80 on Fortnite. So that's about it. That's about it.
I've been jumping in and out of the game, looking at that stuff. Played a couple of matches over the last couple of days and stuff. That was really cool.
You need to hit me. I've been playing every day, man.
Oh, I didn't know you've been. Well, I've been on at weird times.
I've been getting dubs, yo. I've been getting Victory Royale. You know what? I should change my name on Twitter to Victory Royale Slow-Mo, because that's how it's been going. Like I just been getting dub. If I don't get a dub, I'm in top 5. Like, so.
Who you playing with T-Rock?
Not the whole time. I think I may have played with T-Rock again one more time, but I have mostly been playing with just like one of my close personal friends. Shout out to Numsy. He's I've been playing with him and his son, who's actually, I think his son's 10. His son is vicious. This is a vicious 10-year-old. Okay, like he is nasty. I'm just out here just like, yo, can you get him? He a little vicious. But it's it's been that, or I've been playing solo, and I had a couple of matches. I had this one match. I wish I would have been recording the whole time. I'm always forgetting to record.
I don't know why you're not always recording.
I'm
always recording.
I just forget. I just forget to record. I just do, man. It be like that sometimes. But no, I've won maybe about 3 or 4 solo 0 build mode matches. I had this one match. I won a bunch of doubles and a lot of the trios, but this one match, my boy, he got. There's something going on with his PC, because no one else I know has this issue. He just keeps getting kicked out of matches. So like we just jumped out the bus, we going down to the map, his game crashed again. It happens. Like, me and him been playing every day, and it happens like once a day. So his son wasn't on at the time. It was just me and him. So it's a duos match. I'm playing it solo. I won the whole thing. Like, he jumped back in. When you jump back in, you're just watching at that point, because you can't really get back into the match. And he was just like, "Yo, are you about to win this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think I'm about to win this." Like, it was pretty cool, yo. I've been having fun with some Fortnite, man. I actually have some footage of us winning, but I didn't realize, like, you can go into your like under career in Fortnite and then go to replays, and you can. Yeah, they record every match. like every match you do is recorded. So I actually went in and like got the replay of the one we won today. Actually, yeah, because we won at least 2 today, and so yeah, I got that. I'll probably run that as the gameplay later on today. But I mean, outside of Doom, so like, you haven't finished Doom 2016 yet, right?
Not yet.
Okay, how far are you into it?
50-60%.
All right, question for you. Id Software, awesome, right? Awesome at first person shooters. Yes. Do you think they see a lot of people have been like they've been like #1 draft pick or #1 choice with these topics of like somebody needs to replace 343 for Halo. Do you think, based upon playing their game right now, that they are really capable of doing that? Because I think that they are an awesome developer at first person shooting, but like not this kind of first person shooting.
So yeah, I hear that all the time. And as much as it sounds nice to say, let it deal with the multiplayer and all that other stuff, I don't think it's a good fit due to the fact that its gameplay is so much faster than what Halo is, especially when it comes to multiplayer. It's really, really fast. Like, it's faster than Destiny's gameplay, honestly. So it's like a lot of people really don't take into consideration. We give 343 a lot of crap because 343 has a lot that they have to deal with, and we also know that it just seems like they're inept at what they're doing. But the unfortunate part of that also comes back to who are they going to find that's going to be able to even deal with an IP like Halo. Like, we know 343 hasn't done a great job with it since they had it. Not at all. I mean, they've done a decent job. They just haven't done. They just haven't done a job that everybody wants them to do.
Like being good. Being good at making Halo games, like they just not
listen. They've been okay here and there. They just haven't been like when you had a game that was an all-star game that I was listening to. Shout out to Paul Taz. I was listening to his he had a video earlier today, and he was talking about the issues and stuff with Halo and everything, and how 343 they were gifted something that they really didn't deserve. They did. I mean, we all can be 100% about that. Halo was something that 343 didn't earn. It was given to them.
Right.
And yes, a lot of people from Bungie came over to 343, but the thing is, you just don't have anybody.
But you know what? It's not even that, because there has been multiple like reports of people on the inside who have stated explicitly that there is multiple factions within 343, and that they're always vying for control, and that there's no unified vision there, which again is another reason why I think Bonnie Ross needs to go, because like you're the top dog, you're the head.
The one that should nip that in the bud, say, okay, which way are we going to go? Okay, this is where we're going, and everybody else needs to roll in that direction.
Exactly. And one of those factions has been a concerted effort to remove anything Bungie from Halo. Like, they don't want more Bungie employees there, despite them being good and good developers who have in the past proven to do a great job with the game and have delivered great games in the past. They don't want them there because they don't want what 343 to be doing to be associated to what Bungie did. But it's like, what you're doing separately isn't as good. So it's like, you either are going to emulate what they're doing, or you're going to need to come up with something better. And if what you come up with isn't better, then all you're doing is basically just screwing everyone over, which is, I think, is what has essentially been happening now. My bad. Go ahead, man. Go ahead and continue.
No. I was just looking at like Gregor said in the chat that there is some potential there for it to actually do something with. I do think the potential was there, but I think it is so much to make a Halo game. Like, we think about all the stuff that's not there. Think about the things that's missing from the game that everybody expects day one. We expect co-op to be there. We expect single player. We expect
they had a stream about that today. I did not make that a topic because
because I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it. I just don't. It's ridiculous.
Wake me when they actually do something that actually matters when it comes to that. But there is a lot of different moving parts to a Halo game, and could someone absolutely probably do it better? Maybe. But that's the thing. There isn't one studio under Microsoft that we know 100% can do a better job in making a Halo game than 343. Now you can take the shot that say we want to give somebody else the chance to do it, and a lot of people will be 100% in for that. But the thing is, there is not one studio they have that anybody can say with 100% certainty can put the package together that everybody wants from a Halo game, because there is so many moving parts to that game that most studios can't handle it. I mean, we're talking about an 800-person studio at this point.
Yeah, but does it need to be? Does it need to be 800-person studio?
Hold on,
because Bungie was never. But when Bungie was making, Bungie's that big now. Because that's because they do a looter shooter now, and they're making multiple games. But back then they weren't that big. Then they weren't 700 developers. So it's just like, why?
They also going with the times where they think games need. This is the thing. Halo just needed to be simple, and 343 tried to make it. And that's kind of been, if you ever notice, that's kind of been the mantra of 343 ever since they took over Halo, especially once they got past Halo 4. They wanted to make Halo bigger. They wanted to do more. Like Halo 4 was the last traditional Halo game they made, technically. Because when you got to Halo 5, Halo Guardians, that's when they added Firefight. That's when they started adding extra game modes.
Firefight was good too.
Oh, I love Firefight. Firefight was good. Not Firefight. I'm sorry, not Firefight. Warzone.
Warzone. Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah, Firefight was Reach, but Reach that was by far one of the best Halo games ever made. But they started adding things to the game, and they tried to make it bigger. And that's where I think they started making their mistakes. And now we're at Halo Infinite, and you haven't even found a way to give us the traditional Halo game in all of its features correctly. Now you want to go into this whole never-ending content loop where 90% of the studios that try doing that fall flat on their face, and you wasn't even able to make the base game just yet. So there is probably a studio, like someone, to be honest, there's probably a studio out there that could do it. But are you, as Microsoft, willing to take a chance? Maybe on the next Halo game, something that is 5 or 6 years, 7 years away, that they can do from the ground up and build it. Maybe you would do something like that. But would you be willing to give somebody else the keys to Halo Infinite and say you're in charge of this?
I think. I don't want to stay on like that. Now we return to Halo Infinite as a topic all of a sudden. I didn't want a question to turn into a right. I didn't want this to be like this big a deal. But this is what I will say, that we can kind of move on. I think the best bet isn't to have a whole new, completely unrelated developer take over the game. I think they may have what they need in Certain Affinity, who is the biggest support studio for Halo, and do have a lot of these ex-Bungie developers that wanted to work at 343 but were turned away, and actually does a very good job, and are dropping a battle royale that they're working on probably next year-ish, it looks like. So maybe it needs to be a shift of priorities. Maybe Certain Affinity needs to become the primary, and let 343 become the secondary. Like I'm not gonna speak on things that we've heard, that both of you and I heard about 343. We heard some stuff. We've been kind of keep it on the hush, and so we keep it on the hush.
Yeah.
But it ain't shocking to say that what we heard wasn't good. Right. Nothing that we heard was great. It's actually probably whatever. Like it's not good. So it's just like, it is what it is. Things aren't getting better with the current structure of the organization, with the current regime, with the current people in charge. Massive changes need to happen up top because they have talented people who work there, but they're just like, you could be the greatest programmer in the world, you could be the greatest artist, gameplay designer, whatever, you could be the greatest at that stuff. But if you're not allowed to do your job properly, or you're not given the resources necessary to get it done, or like his management just absolutely sucks, like it doesn't matter how good you are. Like, it's not really going to get like shown like that. So it's just like they gotta change leadership, and if they don't change leadership, like make certain Infinity the primary, something has to change though, because I hate seeing Halo the way it is. I just hate it.
Well, you know, the biggest thing in finishing that out, it mostly just comes back to, and someone said it in the chat, you know, they were like, why can't it just go in and like help with 343? And you know what? That's a different conversation, because one of my favorite franchises in Destiny, they had help. You know, some of the best DLCs Destiny has ever had was when they had help when they were with Activision, and they had Vicarious Visions and High Moons making DLC for them. Like, some people don't realize that Bungie didn't make every DLC for what's it. They just had a little bit of extra help in getting that stuff off the ground. And what I do think could happen is maybe a partnership where they need to stop bringing in all of these contractors, people that
that's a big problem.
That's the problem.
There needs to be, so Microsoft has a company-wide mandate when it comes to contractors, where contractors can only work like 15 months or like a year and a half or something like that. I can't remember what the exact time frame is, but it's not conducive for video game development. So what they need to do is convert a lot of those people who are contractors to full-time employees, so they don't need to worry about the fact that they're going to lose on this talented person who's done all this work for them, and then potentially have to replace them with someone else later on that might not be quite as good, or could be just as good, but like they work differently, or they are lost because like the person whose work they're picking up has already left. This is I think why their game engine has been so difficult to work on and has been so difficult to develop. It's because you're trying to develop a game engine, but more than half of your 800 staff are contractors. People are working on this engine and then leaving, and then now you got other people coming in, and they're trying to pick up where the other person left off, but it's just like that's not going to be the best way to make a game, to make an engine. And then once the engine is complete, you got people who it's a proprietary engine. They come in, they work at 343. They may be used to Unreal. They may be used to Unity. They may be used to a different game engine. By the time they get their feet wet with Slip Space, it's time to go. Stop hiring all these contractors is what we saying. It's like, it's just not smart business here. Shout out to the Ash and Luca with the $5 super chat. She says, I am. Yo, why can't I don't know why I couldn't say that word apathetic about I don't know why I couldn't say that word then. My bad, y'all. I'm so apathetic about 343 and Halo Infinite at this point. It's actually kind of sad. Also, me seeing that $7 games debate in the title.
Get ready for it. It'll be there on Saturday. Trust me.
Yeah,
somebody gonna ask it in a members topic.
Yeah, hey, look, it is a topic of conversation out here in the gaming community yet again. So we will address it yet again. But appreciate you, Luca, with the $5 super chat. What outside of Fortnite and Doom, what else you been playing, man?
Man, that's been it, man. Other than being no, that's probably not it. I've been basically finishing up my game room and stuff. You know, man, have you ever, when you moved, how long you been living in your house now?
Let's see, about 12 years.
12 years.
Yeah.
How long did it take you? Was that your first house? Was that like the first house you bought, like the first place you lived in since you've been married, or you lived somewhere else before while you were married?
When we first got married, we had a 1-bedroom apartment.
Okay.
We moved. We bought the house like a year after we got married.
How long did it take you to unpack everything that was like just knick-knack stuff that you considered like, oh, this is cool, I'm gonna bring it with me, I'm gonna set it up in my little game room and stuff? How long did it take you until you actually did that stuff?
I would say not long, but that's more of the fact that we had two newlyweds who had a 1-bedroom apartment. We didn't have much. We did not have much. We need to go out and buy furniture and stuff to like fill out these rooms, because the rooms is empty. Like we were just like, man, we
can't be letting people come over our house seeing that we living like this.
Exactly.
People come over sitting on cardboard, sitting in lawn chairs in the living room.
Completely empty. Look, we had completely empty rooms for about the first year. Like we didn't get like an actual like a real dining room set up until like maybe a year and a half in, and that's just because like we newlyweds. Our first child was born. He only like 1 year old. We got another one on the way. You know, I was busy. You know, and then like it is just like
you were busy.
Who are we here to impress? Ain't nobody coming over. We ain't got time for none of that.
Slow-mo had an igloo. One of those igloo freezers in his living room with a pop in. Is like, well, who we trying to impress? We ain't gotta go get that $3,000 refrigerator just yet.
Yeah, I see people are killing me in the chat. Shout out to Ashley Luca with the $5 super chat. My shock and horror right here, and you struggle with the word apathetic. Look, I'm tired, Luca. I'm tired. Let me get to what my day has been like. It looks like potentially my wife might have COVID, so I've been busy all day today. I actually talked to Luca earlier today, but didn't get a chance to bring that up because I was busy running.
I gotta be messed. Okay, Gregor said, I just want to point out, slow-mo read I am instead of I am. I then couldn't pronounce apathetic. I just keeping the same Forte energy.
Which is fine. I am fine with that. You know, it's ain't nothing misspelled in the titles or the topics.
I mean, let's be for real. Those titles could be written by a child because there's nothing going on this week.
It doesn't matter. Okay, there's nothing ever misspelled. Okay, y'all gonna leave me alone, man. I'm tired. Okay, I have had a long day. I've been feeding kids. I've been working. I still have some time. Oh my God!
He said you have pictures of furniture taped to the window. So
that's hilarious.
Like, oh man, that's a really nice looking living room set there, sir.
It sure is, man. I can't wait to buy that. No, look, we got a fully furnished house now. But just like, look, that's how a lot of you a newlywed and you go from a single bedroom, 1-bedroom apartment to a house with 4 bedrooms, 3 levels, single family home. Like you, where were you hiding all the stuff to fill out the rest of the house with? Like
when I got married, I was in a 2-bedroom because my oldest daughter was already, what was she, 4 at the time? So when we got married and we moved into our first apartment, it was a 2-bedroom. We stayed there for 3 years. Then we had 4 years. Then we had our second kid. And that's when we moved to the second house. But one that we got before this one, that was a 4-bedroom. But one of the bedrooms was my game room. And then we bought the house last year. And going back to what I was saying, the reason I said that, I literally just started unpacking stuff in my game room. Like, to the point where
I've noticed like when I see you on cam, you still got I still see boxes in the background.
Like, man, I've been here like you know how you just look at this stuff, you say, oh man, I'm gonna do this, and oh man, I'm gonna do that, and then when you start to think about doing it, you're just like, I really don't want to do none of this. Like I went out to IKEA almost a year ago, slow-mo, and bought like the
shout out to IKEA,
shout out to IKEA
because we definitely went to IKEA to fill out like look, we don't care, we just need it to look halfway decent.
Yep.
And last us about 5 years, and like a good 45% of the stuff we bought from IKEA lasted around that time frame. So it's like shout out to them for giving us just something to put in bedrooms that would break, as soon as you look at it. But
as soon as you look at them.
Oh man, no. what I've been doing. So like, no, I've been playing a lot of different games. Shout out to this one game I played, and I wish I would have recorded it. Matter of fact, did I record it? I might have. Let me go check my game footage. It's called Neon White. Neon White is I do have it. Damn, I got a screenshot. Never mind. I thought I had footage of it. No, Neon White is real cool. It's like a movement game. A little bit of Mirror's Edge, I guess. I haven't really played Mirror's Edge before, so I guess that's how Mirror's Edge is. But like, I've seen other movement games before. They're very like indie style games, but like this one's really cool. It's got a nice little story connected to it. I've been playing that. Shout out to everybody on my Steam friends list whose times like I can't beat, except for Kei Asante. Kei Asante, the only person I can whose time I can beat. Appreciate you, bro, for not doing that great.
What's the name of this game? Is it on Steam or is it on Epic?
It's on Steam. It's like $20 or something like that. It's called Neon White. It's pretty cool. It's like you're
Is
this
it
guy.
light or white?
White, WHITE. So you're like this guy that died, and I don't quite know what you were in your life, but you weren't a good person. I don't think you may have been like an assassin or something. I don't know, but like you're dead. All of your friends are dead. And like you can't get into heaven because you were basically, you know, a POS. So like,
oh yeah, I see it right here.
They give you like heaven's giving you like this option where you can like fight demons for them with the chance of potentially getting into heaven. So it's pretty cool. I've been playing that. I've been playing Outriders, a new expansion, World Slayer, which like is the gameplay I'm showing right now. This is like not the campaign of the expansion, but post campaign, where it's like this. Basically, it's just like a survival dungeon where you get 3 attempts to make it to the end. It's this was on World Tier 13 or 12, one of those. But it's back up there. It's pretty. Outriders is pretty legit now. I like Outriders. I've got almost no bug issues, which is like the biggest issue with people can fly in Outriders before was like people losing their inventories, people the game crashing on people, co-op not working correctly, and none of those issues have been present so far since I jumped back into it with the expansion. It's been pretty awesome. And I'm enjoying it. I think with this run that I recorded, I did make it all the way through to the end and saw the final cutscene. I don't know if People Can Fly is doing another expansion after this one, considering their statement last year where they said they ain't working with publishers no more. They done. So like, if there's going to be an Overwatch 2, it's going to have to be because Square Enix sold the IP.
Outriders 2, you mean?
What did I say?
Overwatch. I don't even know how Overwatch became part of this conversation.
They both begin with a O. That's how they be. I'm telling you, I'm tired, bro. Good grief. All the mistakes I'm making so far. I apologize, y'all. There likely won't be an Outriders 2 unless Square Enix doesn't care about the IP, sells it to People Can Fly so they can self-publish, because they said from now on all they're doing is self-publishing, or they find a different developer to make the game. And frankly, I'm not interested in a whole new developer working on this game. I just don't. Right. There's certain IP I feel like it's just I don't think I'm not trying to act like People Can Fly is amazing or anything. Matter of fact, that sounds horrible. They're not terrible either, right? I just don't think that when you have a developer who works on a game and then you just throw another developer onto it, that like it's going to be the same kind of game. Like you may get a lot of similarities, but very rarely is it kind of like the same thing where there's like KOTOR made by BioWare and then Obsidian does KOTOR 2 and it actually hits. It's like very rare does that happen. So I'm not interested in anyone else doing it, but I don't know if this is going to be the final expansion, but I do think this big dungeon that they created for in-game content that you can just keep doing over and over again, it's pretty legit. I like it a lot. When is
They said it's a lot. It's like there's one person I followed that does content on it, says it was like a good 30 to 40 hours before they felt like they could really farm that in-game activity. Cause they're part of the Outriders Insider, so they had it a week before everybody, and it was like, so it's pretty legit.
It's hard. Now there's like only like 2 different bosses, really. Three, 4. Okay, I'm sorry, 4. There's like 4 different bosses throughout this thing. One of them they just keep repeating with just like increasing difficulty, which is just like. That one's not that great, but it's a decent boss fight. The one that I just showed is probably the best boss fight in the game. Although I think the AoE attack that boss does is freaking annoying because it's like basically like the size of Rhode Island. I'm just like, how am I supposed to dodge out of this? Like I can't. Like it's too big. Pause. So, but I'm having fun with it. This is my Technomancer build, and that's the one that I really just been kind of working on and building up. And at this point now, I'm damn near unkillable. I think, really, like, well, at least where I'm at right now, it could get better. But I've got the 4 different builds set up. I know that you and I started it. I don't know, have you played it at all since?
I played it a little bit. I was gonna ask if we need to go back in because
it's fine.
That's the thing too. You're playing with a techno, and I'm still playing with a pyromancer, and we all know pyromancers need all the help they can get.
True, but I have all 4 classes though, so like it doesn't really matter to me.
Look at you, all 4 classes.
Huh?
I said, look at you with all 4 classes. You are king of making sure
gamer,
that you.
Man. When we play these looter shooters, man, I don't just pick one class. I pick all the classes.
Well, I have all 3 and all the other ones, but not this one. Actually, I'm just mad that I just don't want. If it was, matter of fact, let me ask you this: is there a way to skip? Like, say if you wanted to make a Technomancer, could you just skip the 30?
I'm not sure. I don't know if you can do that or not.
Because if they made it so you could skip to 30, I might do it. It's just that I don't want to go through the whole campaign again.
Shout out to the Clifton the Color Milkman with the $2 super chat. He says, good show so far. As if like, it's all right now. I don't know about later, but you guys are doing an okay job so far. Shout out to Clifton though.
Shout out to Clifton.
No, I don't know if you can just like I want to start a new build, right? I want to start I don't know, what's the name of the rock one? Whatever, forget the rock one.
Is it Devastator?
Devastator, right? I want to start Devastator, but I want to do the expansion. I already bought the expansion. Do I need to just like start at the very, very beginning? Because that's literally like a 15-hour campaign. Then the expansion, which look, the main campaign is cool though. I like the main campaign. Again, the big issues with Outriders wasn't the casual content. It was the issue was the balancing was off. Was someone of like that's a higher level, a stronger character comes in to join, another person who's like say hasn't completed the campaign. They're the host, and like the way they would nerf the stronger character was ridiculous. Like, I'm like, why are you nerfing people in a purely PvE game? Like, what are you doing? Like, nothing should be nerfed. That's ridiculous. Like, I don't know if that's still the case or not. We definitely find out because all of my characters now are like, pretty high level now compared to when the last time we played. So the next time we play, we'll see if they fix that issue or not. But other than that, like the inventory issues, the cloud issues, the cloud save issues, the login issues that occurred, all that stuff seems to be completely fixed now. So it's
I remember when we went to go help Taz with his, and he was like, Slobo was like, man, what's this? They nerfed my characters.
My character was doing like 500k damage a bullet on higher levels. I joined Taz. I'm doing 350, not 350k, 350 350 damage, period. I'm like, what is this nonsense? Like, who thought this was a good idea? And I think really part of it was that a lot of that stuff wasn't tested. Like, that was actually the big issue. Like who were the testers? We were the testers. Who found out that, like, you know, your damage got nerfed massively when you joined someone else who was a lower level, lower tier than you? You did.
You did.
you found that out for them. Now let them know so they can fix it. Like, that's some unfortunate stuff about game development that it's just ridiculous. But look, hopefully that at least that aspect of things is fixed. The last time we played, we were both at pretty much like a close level, so there was no disparities that could kind of reveal those kind of issues. But oh man, no. I've been playing this. I actually have been playing very little Rogue Company because there's been another multiplayer game that's taken up all my time.
Oh Lord, what is it?
Oh, you already know, man. Cause I convinced you to play it, man.
Oh my God,
I have been a Fortnite like recruiter lately, getting people to play Fortnite.
He's also a whale.
Bro, I'm not a whale. Stop.
Man, out here. You ask him to cycle through the character like this. Let me tell you something. You don't just put your skins on rotation if you only got 2 skins. It's been. I'm looking at his character. All of a sudden, he said, "Oh my God!" I said, "Dude, you got." I said, "Why are you changing your thing every match?" He was like, "Oh, I got to set to rotation." This dude had Obi-Wan. He had Lara Croft. I was like, dog. I
got that Lara Croft a long time ago, man. All right.
You still had it though. She looks sweet too. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, yo, that Lara Croft looked pretty good. But listen, bro, you spent a lot of money.
I have not spent. It's not true.
I don't want to hear these excuses that
not spent a lot of money.
Microtransactions in games. I don't want to ever hear you say anything bad about microtransactions in games because
I don't. Wait, hold on. I can speak about egregious microtransactions and stuff like when EA tried to have microtransactions that actually affected gameplay in Battlefront 2.
So
it's gotta be called out. You know,
$20 to $25.
Look.
Skins.
Look. Fortnite is a free game.
You already gave them enough money.
If I give them a little bit of money.
Little bit, okay.
A little bit of money.
A little bit of
They gotta keep the lights on. They got employees to pay. They got benefits. Them employees got children with teeth and eyes that have to be checked with medical benefits, man.
Are we still talking about the same billion-dollar company that went after a $1 trillion company? You said they need money.
This is how they make. Man, leave me alone here. Look, I am not a whale. Okay. If I was a whale, I would have bought that Love and Thunder collection. I don't have it. I didn't.
You'll have it soon.
I'm not buying it. I've looked at it multiple times. I've said no, I will not.
Hey, shout out to them, man. I was in there with Blaze 4K, T-Rock, and Slow Mo, and they made me feel like a peasant. They in there switching their character every 2 seconds up there doing.
And what did you do?
I bought one character with money I already had. With money I already had. I was like, oh, they gave me 1,000 silver. Thank you. Or 1,000, whatever it's called, V-Bucks. But it is what it is, man. True says don't shame him.
I am not a whale, man. We're gonna cut that kind of talk out. I don't need people thinking that, you know, I'm just
That's
out here.
That's a big boss right there, man.
This is the boss I was talking about, where it's the same boss. You fight him multiple times, but he has like when you get him down to like half health, he has a different phase, or like it becomes more intense than it was with the previous ones. But it's a pretty easy boss fight. It's decent, but it's pretty easy. I mean, like all of my gameplay with this in-game mode they got has been solo. I do think it is designed for co-op though. I think they designed it to be done with co-op. But if you got a really good build, and not saying my build is amazing, but I think it's a pretty good build, then you can solo it. It won't be like the easiest time, but you can definitely do it all by yourself. Now, I think that's really all I've been playing. I feel like I've been playing other things, but I've tried some other games. Didn't really care for them. I tried Chorus, like the like spaceship shooter.
You talk about Corvus?
Whatever its name, Corvus, whatever it's called.
I call it Chorus too because they make it look like it's a U, but it's actually a V.
Oh, it's a V? All right, well look.
It is a V.
I gave it a shot. It's just not for me. I knew that from the start. Not saying it's a bad game or anything, but I uninstalled it pretty quickly. I've been playing a lot of little games here and there, trying stuff out, just finding, you know what, not for me. Not gonna play it. So, but
have you found yourself whenever you install, like, if it's a game that's in Game Pass, if it's a game you don't know if you just want to try it, do you find yourself actually installing the whole game?
Yeah.
Or do you find yourself just doing the
I have no problem. Look, if I paid for the service, if I'm halfway interested in the game that's in the service, I'm going to try it. Look.
I'm not saying, but would you download?
I actually download it and play it.
Download it and not just do the instant gratification of just doing the cloud download, the cloud play.
Oh well, look, no. Well, one, I think that cloud play is mostly an Xbox thing.
Well, I'm talking about what on Xbox. I mean, you do have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate on PC, so
right. But I don't think they do the whole like, you can play.
Not do it on PC.
I don't think so. At least, look, I don't really like. Look, my. Here we go. Look, my internet. The way my internet is set up, I don't really need to wait that long.
Well, yeah.
But my stuff installs in like 5 minutes, so it's just like why? I mean, I can just hit install, go grab something to drink, come back, and it's all set.
Status, got it.
What?
Whale status. Whales can do that. You know, don't even have to worry about internet connection or functionality or connectivity.
I'm not a whale because I got excellent internet, man.
What you got? I don't even want to know.
Verizon Fios.
Okay.
Best internet in the country.
Yeah, everybody doesn't have it.
Yeah, it's not available everywhere.
That's why I said it's the only reason I can't argue against you, because everybody doesn't have it.
Yeah. But anyway, no. Look, I've tried some games. I haven't really cared for that much, but it is what it is. I've been on a looter shooter kick. I've been playing Division 2 as well. That's probably the one other thing I've been playing. And my build with Division 2 is pretty nasty right now as well. So,
yeah, but you deleted that game off your Xbox and said, "I'm done."
Division 1, I deleted it. Yeah, I could like completely 100% achievement that one.
So, did you get a chance, before we get into the main ones, did you see the article on PlayStation doing the PlayStation Star stuff?
Yeah, I almost made that a topic, but I just I didn't think.
Feel like Xbox now? They give you points for everything you do.
How is that funny?
That's what Xbox is. That's what Xbox.
Yeah, it's a good idea for Xbox, and I think they looked at it and was like, "Hey, that's a good idea. We should do that."
That's a good idea.
They already had like Sony rewards, but it kind of sucked. So this is much better for them. I wonder if it's retroactive though. If it's that would be amazing. If it was retroactive. Like you just log in one day and you got all these little collectibles and stuff. That'd be great. But I will understand why it's not retroactive, because let's look, like I platinum both Spider-Man games, Spider-Man 2018 and Miles Morales, right? But what if they got a collectible of some sort for both Peter Parker and Miles Morales, but you gotta go into both games and maybe like play for 2 hours? All right, well I'm gonna go into like that might actually get somebody to reinstall the game and play the game instead of, well, I already did that stuff years ago and I just get credit for it. I think it's an incentive to get people to jump back in, which is fine if you see something that you want, and I also see a little bit of influence from Steam. with the way Steam does, like the collectible, those cards that they do. So like you buy a game on Steam and you got your normal achievements that you get for just like playing the game, and same achievements that everyone else gets. That's like this. It's the same stuff that's the trophies on PlayStation and the achievements on Xbox. But then in addition to that, like there are like these cards, and you will get some of them, but you can't get all of them. And the way to get all of them is to somehow like just do trading with other players out there, which is like have absolutely zero interest in it at all. So I haven't done any of that. But if you are that kind of person, then you can boost your Steam level, your score, your number, or whatever it is by doing stuff like that, which is fine. But I literally don't care. But I mean, I think it's a good idea for them to do that. Like anything that improves the experience, and it's, of course it's free, but anything that improves the experience for the gamer, I'm down for.
Yeah, I thought it was cool when I saw it. They are, like you said, they already was doing something like that, but I like how they're really just kind of rebranding it, because I do think a lot of people try to use the Xbox rewards or Game Pass rewards or whatever they call them as a talking point when it comes to everything you can get outside of it, because people always use it. Oh, I don't even have to pay for Game Pass. I could just use my Xbox reward points every month and I get it for free. You know,
nah, I'm not quite certain that you get enough reward points with PlayStation that would like pay for your PS Plus Ultra. I said Ultra. Extra or premium subscriptions. I don't know if they're doing that, but I also don't even know like how people are like earning enough on a monthly basis.
You get quite a bit.
Oh really? I guess I hadn't looked into it. Like the most I had done was like me and the coworker had like created a script that would go into Bing and get the maximum amount of search points that you could get from Microsoft through that, but you just click a button and it would just throw up a whole bunch of tabs searching for just random stuff, and you would just get all those points by not even searching for anything, and you could just
put it this way, if you just
on a daily basis.
Put it this way, if you just did the monthly searches, like the Bing searches where you do, I think it's 150 points worth on your PC and 100 worth on your phone. That's 7,500 points right there. And then Xbox Game Pass Rewards gives you roughly about 8,000, like 6,000 to 8,000 over the course of a month, because you know they give you one giant one that gives you 2,000 if you just do certain things throughout the month, and then you get points every day. And then they have like little trials and little things you can do throughout the month. So you can easily get, like, I think one month I got 19,000 in 1 month. Jeez. You can get you 20 like easily. You can easily get $15 a month in Microsoft Rewards if you did it every day. And all it takes, and honestly, let's be for real, it only really the thing that takes the longest, I believe, is doing the daily, like logging into like and it's not called Bing, it's an Edge, and just doing the searches. It takes like 5-10 minutes of your day. I usually do it while I'm at work. I just search on my phone.
That's what I had you
had a script for.
Yeah, I got a script for, and I just open the script and it just does it for me. And then I just run the script again and it deletes all the tabs that it threw up, so I have to do it manually.
Well, that is also lets you know how lazy some people are. Not saying you guys or anybody in the chat, but it's like Microsoft is literally giving you money. Well, they're not giving you anything because they're using all that data that you're giving them to make themselves more money, but they're giving you a kickback on it basically. So,
well, I mean, look, it's free. I mean, I say that with parentheses because it's not really free. Microsoft is doing that because they make money off of like the things that you search. Now, if you run a script and it doesn't have anything in there about what they're not getting anything off of that, and so you are kind of gaming the system that way. But if you use Bing instead of Google search, and you're using it so that you can build up Microsoft rewards. What you're actually doing for Microsoft is that you're giving them data on the things that you search for. Therefore, when say Pepsi comes by and they want to know how many people are searching about our product, they can actually charge Pepsi for that information because they are getting it. This is why we don't get like a lot of calls from telemarketers as much as we used to, because instead of like getting people who get burned out from getting hung up on and cussed out every day to do that work, they just go to these companies. They go to social media sites, they go to like Google and Microsoft and anyone who has a search engine, and they just ask these questions.
Right.
So this is why if you go do all the rewards, like where the questions, the basic questions, hey, what do you prefer more, Coke or Pepsi? And you get like 50 points for answering the question. Why are they asking that question? Because there is clearly a company that wants to know the answer. That's why. So they're getting paid for this. They're just not getting paid from you. You're the product at that point. Their customer is these other companies. And your information that you provide is the product that they provide, which is why they, when Google dominates the search engines, they are free to willing, hey, please, we'll give you free Game Pass on a monthly basis. Yeah, just use Bing Search already. Like, we don't care. Because we need more people actually using that so that we can actually charge more information to these companies and make more money. So that's what it's all about.
I agree.
Oh, but see, you slide that script my way.
No, I'm telling you, bro, you could get, if you did it, I'm trying to tell you, every day.
I have thought about making a YouTube video just walking people through how to make the script themselves. I think I might do that. I think that might be some evergreen content on my channel.
Oh yeah, bro. You should easily do that. Like, hey, you want to get and just name it unlimited Microsoft points.
Yeah, that might actually be my next upload. Since I haven't uploaded anything in months.
Yeah, because I was definitely going to.
I knew you were going to say it. That's why I said it for you. But I think we should probably just roll into finally what the first topic is, right? Let me go find it. So first topic here, Bandai Namco. So Bandai Namco had a little bit of a security issue this week, and there was an alleged leak of upcoming Bandai Namco games that came out probably about 2 days ago, and I'm going to put that up on the screen because I want you guys to see what is being alleged to be coming out. Give me a moment to find it, but the way this is being set up so far right now is that there was a ransomware attack on Bandai Namco, and some data was exposed, and then that data, a graphic, I don't know, this is a PowerPoint slide, it was likely a PowerPoint slide, but I'm gonna switch over to, of course that's not showing it. There it is. Bam. I wish I could blow this up, but no, I can't blow up the screenshot. Anyway, this is what it is. So this is what was exposed. Now it's been confirmed by Bandai Namco that they were attacked. So this information coming out, like this graphic came out prior to the word that they got attacked came out. So it's kind of like confirmation that this is kind of, if maybe the release periods might not be fully accurate anymore because they're kind of like projections, but this stuff is in development. So Q1 of 2023 is Armored Core and Dragon Ball The Breakers. Now remember, Forte wasn't From Software that said that they were working on a project that was very close to being released. I think that's probably be this Armored Core, which has been rumored for a while. That's not even a shocker or anything. I think that's been rumored fairly often so far. So there's that. What do you think about that? Would you be interested in playing Armored Core?
I would be. It was one of the few games from Bandai from that I really did enjoy. Seeing that get and everybody's been talking about it a lot. So as soon as I saw it, was like the first thing I saw. I said, well, I guess those Armored Core rumors were really true. But yeah, definitely. I mean, it really also just comes down to the release date when it comes out. Will I play it? Absolutely. Will I play it the day it comes out? Just depends on what comes out around it, because we all know first quarter of 2023 is supposed to be pretty heavy, especially if Microsoft doesn't delay their games out of that quarter. Right. So that's what it really comes down to. But definitely interested in that one.
But yeah, some people feel like this still could be fake. I mean, I guess we'll have to see. But
3 Dragon Ball games still got me.
Yeah, 3 Dragon Ball games. Like, why are you making so many Dragon Ball games? Like, they don't even. I mean, I mean, look, Dragon Ball is popular. Maybe they sell well, but they're all garbage games. I mean, like, why make 3? Whatever. If they sell
Breakers is a new game. Fighter Z is a fighting game, which it is super. So that's probably going to end up being one with all the DLC characters and stuff. And then Xenoverse 3 is a sequel to. It's like a sequel to the games that they already made.
Look, so I would say
3 might be. Well, no, 3 and Breakers would be the new games, and Z could be just like a Game of the Year version of Fighters.
Okay, Gregor in the chat says they usually have multiple Dragon Ball games, mobile and Xenoverse and fighting game. Okay, so maybe some of these are like mobile games. That would make sense then.
That's true. They're mobile. It doesn't matter.
It's just like there another Tales game this quickly. It must be from a different developer, a different team under Bandai Namco for them to have another Tales game this fast. I think that'd be a little like because Tales of Arise just came out last year.
Shout out to that Tekken 8 though.
Yeah, I don't care about fighting games, but I guess.
Shout out that Tekken 8 though, man.
I think the title for this Elden Ring, look, I'm waiting for this Elden Ring expansion.
What is it called?
Barbarians of the Badlands. That sounds awful. Like what? What is that? Like, first of all, like where the look in the lands between. I can't think of some any Badlands anywhere. Like what are y'all talking about? I don't know about any of that. Like that seems weird. Like in Code Vein 2, did Code Vein do good enough to get a 2? I don't know. Sales wise.
It wasn't. I don't think it did. I don't think it really cost them that much to make that game, first of all. I don't think it did great, but I don't think it did bad to the point where it wasn't one. It does have its own little it has its own ecosystem of people that really enjoyed the first one. I believe Erica really liked the first Code Vein. So there's a lot of people that really did enjoy the game.
I have tried it twice and I just can't get into
couldn't do it. Was it one of those making those games that you just couldn't get behind?
Well, I tried it before I started to like Souls games, and I didn't like it then. I tried it after playing Demon Souls Remake and liked it. After loving Elden Ring, and I only liked it slightly more. It's just the combat is just way too sluggish for me, and I do like the kind of like the anime art style to it, but I just the story is just too. Nah. It ain't for me. It's just not for me, man.
Oh, I see. Shout out to the homie Chris Bush.
It needs to be brought up. I just addressed the chat.
He gets a pass. He used to be one of my like mentors at GameStop. So
okay. So he just joking. Okay.
That's all. No. That's all jokes right there. But he all right, trash parrot. We'll talk later.
No, but like I think if the leak is real, then I'm actually slightly disappointed that the Elden Ring expansion isn't coming out sooner, because maybe I just got my hopes up from a lot of Souls fans saying that usually the expansions come out within a year of the release of the game, and that looks like it's not coming out until like late next year, which kind of sucks. But
do we know what their fiscal year is?
Their fiscal year? I have no idea what Bandai Namco's
When does it
is.
start and when does it end?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because I know Microsoft just started their 2023 one, like a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Cool.
So even if it says 2023, like the ones that are 2021, like the ones that say 2023 first quarter, those technically could be this year. Because they're basically end of year.
No, but it's
for them. It says there. If you look at the top, it says on the top it said their physical year, like their actual year. Yeah, fiscal year. So it depends on when their year starts and ends. So that Elden Ring technically,
it still will be next year, not
it will still be next year.
Yeah,
it still be next year. It would just be like it could be early next year though, depending on when their year ends. If they're like how Microsoft year starts in June and it starts in July and ends in June. So right now we're in the first quarter of 2023 for Microsoft, and I think it's May, April, June is their fourth quarter for 2023. So it just depends on when that's why I was asking, do you know when their year starts and ends? So you could get that Elden Ring earlier in the year next year. I mean, it'll still be a year away. It just won't be at the end of next year. It'll be towards the beginning, which might actually be a year away from the release. Think about that. That will be within a year because of the game. When the Elden Ring got February this year.
Yeah.
So it easily, they said third quarter. So if their year ends in like May or June, that will put them right in the third quarter, which would be probably January, February next year. Just giving you a little bit of hope because I know you can't wait for new DLC.
Yeah, I mean, look, I guess more of my disappointment is like that title doesn't lend me to believe like any of my theories of what the expansion would be about. Because I'm a fan of the Elden Ring lore. I really kind of like the way this, like, the story not so much because the story isn't like, the story is what's happening in the game at that moment. The lore is like all the information and the things that you learn about the world and the characters and everything that's happened in the past and all that great stuff. The lore is amazing in that game, and like just based off of like everything that I know from the lore and looking at YouTube videos and things that I read in the game, I was really kind of like had my hopes up of like maybe seeing some of the other demigods show up or a return of some of them or whatever, but it's just like barbarians of the Badlands. It's like
it just doesn't even. It doesn't excite you.
Where the hell is the Badlands? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what? Like, I'm just not. No, I'm not. I'm not too hyped.
That game doesn't have a traditional difficulty slider when you start. It just scales, right?
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
You mean difficult? Look, the difficulty is
it's no difficulty. It's just
the game. Yeah, you just play the game. Now, what happens after you beat the game? You can go up to New Game Plus, which the enemies are a little bit harder. Although, from what I've heard, compared to other Souls games, Elden Ring's New Game Plus is I'm on actually. I just heard I'm on New Game Plus on PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't find it very much more difficult than just playing the regular game. Now, I heard like if you go to New Game Plus, then you might see a big difference. But I didn't really notice that much of it. Maybe some of the bosses were a little bit harder, but for the most part, I thought it was fine. Blade X says slow-mo is ducking Demon Souls. I am not ducking Demon Souls.
Yeah, well, I'm still shocked you haven't went in to play that.
I have thought about going back and finishing it. I can't be ducking in game, but I was doing just fine, man. I mean, I beat like 3 or 4 bosses. I was doing pretty good. I just
why did you? But Elden Ring kept you though.
What? Elden Ring, like the world and everything else, just kind of like spoke to me more, and Yeah, I just like I don't know. I kind of like gravitated to Elden Ring more than Demon Souls. Demon Souls is a fine game though. Like visually looks better too. You know, like, it's a better looking
What are
game
you
too.
playing with in this game?
I'm playing. Well, actually, my old college roommate has been struggling in the game, and him, and like one of his coworkers we're playing it together. So I'm kind of like helping him through it after I beat the game. After I got the platinum, I was like, you know, sure, I'll help you through it. We still haven't got him to beat it yet. He's close to the end, but yeah. Blaze says I was there, sir. Every shooting, you know that I beat the Flame Lurker first try. Bodied him first try. Did you body him first try, Blade X? Huh? Okay. I didn't think so. Yeah, first try. Took him out. I may have died in the process, but I got the trophy for it. Okay, so like he died. Okay, so that's all you need to know. Anyway, look,
That's
no,
funny.
no, I just I was kind of hoping what's that the demigod's name? Milika, I think is his name. He's like really now. He's like the only demigod that isn't really in the game at all. Like anything, all you see is like his arm, his dead arm or something. If you decide to go fight like the Bloodlord Mog, so it's just like I would have kind of feel like they may have kind of held anything that may have anything to do with him off for like DLC, but yeah, maybe that's still the case. I don't know, but I was just a tad bit disappointed with that. Like when I saw that title, I'm like, that don't look like anything that's gonna have to do with Milika, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
Always got time.
What you mean?
I said there's always time, Shlomo. That game is a massive, and they're gonna milk it for everything it's got.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When you within 2 weeks sell more with that game than you've ever sold in any game in the past, you definitely going to milk it as much as possible. get the barrel out, get the can out. We about to milk this one. Like, you know, it's definitely going to happen.
That's the type of game that you put so much milk in. When you eat the cereal, you got to put more cereal in to get the rest of the milk.
Big facts. I guess we can move on. We can move on to a AAA developer being acquired, and so this one actually is a developer that I've had a lot of interest in, and it is Supermassive Games. Supermassive Games has been acquired by Nordisk Games. I think that is their name. Let me go double check.
Yeah, it's something like Nordis something. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Now apparently they already had a last year they acquired a minority stake in Supermassive, 30% minority stake in them. It is where is it at? I just saw it. Damn it, where'd it go? But no, like yeah, they acquired a minority stake in Nordisk Games. That's their name. They acquired a 30% stake in Supermassive Games a year ago, and that kind of like for a lot of people who were like in the know about this stuff, they kind of already saw the writing on the wall. Then that's usually like a sign that someone's going to end up acquiring a developer at some point. We see that with Tencent and NetEase a lot, and but they fully acquired the developer now. Supermassive, is known for Until Dawn, the Dark Pictures anthology, and most recently The Quarry, which is the gameplay that I'm showing right now. The Quarry was okay. It's not great. It's not
really. You did is great. It's okay. It's not.
It's just
great.
okay. It's just okay.
Man, I thought you was really enjoying that game.
I did enjoy it. I kept, and maybe that's just me. I kept comparing it to Until Dawn, and it's just not as good. But even if you don't compare it to Until Dawn, these characters are dumb, man. Just like, oh, yeah, like these characters are really, really stupid. And some of the decisions in the game, like it's kind of the writing that I don't really care for, where it's like you've written a character to do certain things just because you need a certain plot point to happen, but not necessarily anything that's realistic that the character would be doing in that case. And it's just like I'm looking at certain instances of things that happen, events that happen in the game, and I'm just like, why didn't this character just do X? And it's like, it's such a no-brainer kind of decision that it's just like there's no other reason why these characters are doing some of the things they're doing other than it's just written that way. They just need to have some drama happen. Also, when it comes to, okay, so let me get my soapbox for a second. There is a thing with, like, when you write something and someone does something bad, you kind of want to make sure they get their comeuppance. Or like, if someone makes a mistake, that at some point it comes back to them. So for example, Until Dawn, there's a character named Ashley, and she nearly gets, or could get, this other character Emily killed because Emily got bit by the Wendigo. And Ashley automatically assumes, oh, you got bit, you're going to turn into a Wendigo. But that's not how people turn into Wendigos. So you, as a different character, have the option of shooting Emily to protect the rest of the group because you think she might get turned, or just letting her live. But regardless of what happens, at the end, everyone finds out that Ashley was wrong. And there's a comeuppance for Ashley, because if Emily's dead, then Ashley feels like crap, and everyone's like, you idiot. But if Emily's alive, Emily slaps the crap out of her because she didn't get her killed. There's a comeuppance to that. In the quarry happens. This entire night happens because some idiot got dumped by a girl and decided to sabotage their vehicle leaving the camp so he can have one more night with her. That's it, Forte. And there's no comeuppance for that character. There's like a rare occasion, if you say dialogue just right, and that character is the girl, if both of these characters are still alive when they meet, that he will slip up and admit what he did, and then she kind of goes off on him. That's it. That's like that. That's all. Like no one else knows about this. It's terrible, man. And I know that was like spoilers, but the game's been out for like what, like a month now, 3 weeks now. It's just,
no, man, they're waiting for Game Pass to get it so they can play it.
That's on them. If you waiting for Game Pass, don't talk to me about spoilers. It's clearly you don't care. But no, I don't like that. That's like issues with writing, when you create scenarios but there's no ever any payoff with them. And so I just don't like stuff like that. But I kind of feel like Supermassive is kind of falling into this trap with Telltale. Matter of fact, here's my question to you. Do you feel like they are the new Telltale, for better or for worse?
Oh, they've been the new Telltale for a while now. I just think when you think about all the games they make, especially even outside of the Quarry, and you start thinking about all the dark picture games, I forgot, I didn't know there was a new one coming out. What was it called?
The Devil in Me.
Actually,
I actually have the trailer for that. I'll pull the trailer up. Go ahead.
Yeah. When I was looking at that, I was like, "Oh, this looks really interesting." And I was talking to my dog because I know she like, that's one of her favorite developers, Supermassive.
Yeah, they're dropping 2 games in a year. This is why I say, are they the next Telltale, for better or for worse? Look, go ahead, continue.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they kind of been coming up as, especially when I was talking to her. She's like, I was like, did you play all the dark pictures? She said, yeah, I played all of them. I can't wait for Devil in Me to come out. And I was like, really? And then, I was watching her play because, I'm not really the only reason I bought the Quarry is just so she could play it, through my account and everything. I'd never really been into those type of games. But when I looked there, watched her play, that's like, these characters, like, it's like, it's one of the best looking games on the Xbox. I will say that 100%.
Oh, they make some good looking games. They're masters at mocap too. You look at the way like facial expressions for they got it down. They come a long way since Until Dawn. Go ahead.
It's a looker, but boy, those characters are dumb. Like I didn't know the whole story until you said what happened, because I think I didn't catch the reason that they were stranded there. But hearing you say that, and then knowing the stuff that I know about the stuff that I was watching her play through, I was like, dog, these characters are dumb. I was like, half of it is like, it's like that whole thing is like, if you're stuck on a lake, are you gonna do the whole Friday the 13th thing, or are you gonna be, stupid? That's what they were. They were just a bunch of stupid people in a stupid situation that you didn't have to be a part in. But guess what? It works because the game looks good. It's got a decently compelling story from the parts that I've seen about it. But in general, it's not for me. Like, I thought you really, really enjoyed it because I saw you playing it. And normally, because normally with a game that you're not really like jiving with, you put it down real fast.
Yeah.
And you didn't put that game down.
No, I still wanted to see how it all was going to turn out. And for me, I ended up getting like 3 people killed. So I went back off stream because I streamed my entire first playthrough of it.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Arcade and many people who watched the my lunchtime with slow mos a few weeks ago. That was me streaming the whole game through. Took me probably about maybe 3 or 4 streams, probably 4 streams. But yeah, I wanted to see it through. I wanted to see how it was going to end. And then I went back off stream and I made sure I got all of the characters to survive, like I normally do. I always want to make sure before I put one of the Supermassive Games down that I make sure everyone lives. But matter of fact, let me tell you how dumb these characters are again with the Quarry.
Okay.
Check this out, right? So the same dude who sabotaged the car so that he could hook up with this girl one more time before they had to go, which left them stranded at the camp with the monsters that are out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
He asked this other character, Brenda Song's character, what's the best way to sabotage a car? Should I cut the fuel line or take out the distributor cap or whatever he said? And she said, well, probably take out the distributor cap so that you could easily fix it. And he said, oh, okay. 10 minutes later, the car won't start. When he asked her that question, he had already opened the hood. She's looking at him, fiddle around in the engine. He asked the question. She answers. Now the car don't work.
2 and 2.
2 and 2, stupid. How?
6.
I'm sitting here looking at it I know she's gonna say something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because she know what he did. She has to have known what he did. There's no way she didn't know, but she said nothing. And I'm just sitting here just these people are dumb. It's not just that the characters are dumb. That's poor writing. The way that scenario was set up, poor writing. If you were going to write that, have that guy and Brenda Song's character be inside of the lodge when he asked that question. Even then, she should have been yo, did you just sabotage this car? Because I remember just literally 15 minutes ago, you just asked me how to sabotage a car. But the fact that they were literally right in front of the vehicle when he asked the question just made it even worse. So, oh man, it's just, these are some literally brain dead characters. My issues with Supermassive, and I like them as a developer, and they have been one of my more favorite developers in the past maybe 4 or 5 years than anyone, is that I feel like one of the issues with Telltale games was Telltale had spread themselves out too thin. They were taking on way too many projects, and the level of quality of their games rarely reach the highs that they had early on. The first season of The Walking Dead, A Wolf Among Us, Tales from the Borderlands, like very rarely was the other stuff they were doing that was all licensed work and they were barely making money off of actually living up to those expectations, the same level of quality. And then people got tired of their format. I feel like Supermassive is following down that same line. Their Dark Pictures game, they got two games coming out this year, right? There's a Dark Pictures game that comes out on an annual basis. They're making a game a year. It's just not realistic to expect the same level of quality that Until Dawn had when their full 200-man studio was working on just one game for Sony, versus they got all these little teams, maybe 50 developers or whatever, working on these much smaller, with more watered down, more one-dimensional characters and stories. That, like, of course they're rotating them, and it's like they're not literally making a game in a year, but clearly they don't have the same amount of resources that they had before, the same amount of people or time to get those games out the way they did with Until Dawn. The Quarry's different. It was a completely different project. If you listen to some of the voice, like the one actress that plays Lauren said that she had been working on the game for like 5 years. So this is
like their Until Dawn game where they took time to actually make it.
Yeah. And it's very much kind of like a spiritual successor of Until Dawn, because it's very much the same kind of, you're in the woods. It's not, Until Dawn was in the mountains, but this is like, I don't know where the heck this is, Montana or something, I don't know, but like it's just
being in Yellowstone, all we know.
Right. But it's just, yeah, I hope for the best, and like I think them needing to be acquired kind of told me, it's my suspicions were kind of true, that like they're taking on all these projects. Sales probably have not been the best, and they needed the funding, the investment that Nordisk is providing in order to kind of keep them going. So hopefully this means maybe they can have more developers working on these games, and maybe spend a little bit more time on story aspects and stuff like that to make it.
I think that's the biggest thing. That's what I think the biggest thing is, the story aspects and stuff, because we can't lie and say that the games don't sell. I mean, we don't know exact figures and stuff. I don't think they sell ridiculous numbers, but for what they put out,
they're very popular. Yeah.
They are very popular, because every time we get one, especially working at the store, it was like, hey, you got the new Dark Pictures game? I'm like, there's another one? And then I look, I say, oh yeah, there is. And then, like I said, 2 days ago, I found out that the new the new one's coming out the end of the year. And I was like, how many games are they going to release? But they're easy for them to make. They already have a set schedule to actually get them out. Like you said, they probably have a separate team that they split off to make those games separately. And I think the biggest thing is, I don't think it's going to really hurt the cadence of not help the cadence. I don't think it's going to help the cadence in what they release. I do think getting this influx of funds is probably going to help them just get more people either hired into the studio to help them split it up between the studios when it comes to those games, and you'll get a little bit more quality that way. But I think a lot of people, especially hearing from you, I think The Quarry was just something that people just expected more from because of Until Dawn, and they just felt like they didn't get it from a story aspect. Or maybe maybe a lot of people are just burnt out on that type of story style, and they're just starting to realize. And then unfortunately, it's a $70 game, and you really can't, at that point. So
yeah, I mean, I guess we can move on. Look, long story short, we hope Supermassive is successful with their being acquired by Nordisk, and everything turns out great for them. We definitely don't want them, because that's the kind of lifeline that Telltale Games never got.
Facts.
So maybe Telltale would have still been around and would have been able to advance and evolve their game design if someone would have gave them that lifeline and kept them afloat. But
we'll be on our 9th season of Walking Dead by now if Telltale was still here.
they were going to end the series anyway, man.
I
They
don't know,
no, they were on their last season for that when they when
they say
when
they
they
were.
went, no, they were like they literally had they couldn't drop the last 2 episodes of which were finalized and everything. Story was finalized and everything, but they had went bankrupt before they could finish it. And because it's The Walking Dead, Skybound Games, which is owned by the same guy, Robert Kirkman, who created The Walking Dead, had Skybound Games actually finish it for them, which they just basically hired the same team to just finish it for them, which was a good idea. But
yep, I remember.
Moving on. Let's talk
Say
about
your piece.
Let's talk about these $70 games, man. Talk about these $70 games. So the debate on whether games should be $70 has been something that has been off and on brought up and debated among the video game community for a few years now. Ever since the current generation began, this has been debated. It was marginally brought up when 2K and Take-Two had NBA 2K be the base standard game, $70.
Yep, perfect games to start it too.
Right, and it was also brought up again when we saw 505 Games and Control. Actually, was that $70? Control Ultimate Edition? Or was it just...
No, Control Ultimate Edition was where they made you have to, even if you bought both, like if you bought,
you had to buy the ultimate version to get the instead of getting just the update. Yeah, okay.
If you bought,
505 Games isn't in this, but EA has done it with their games like Madden,
Activision has done
FIFA, Activision has done it with Call of Duty, and so here we are. Sony is now also in that bid too, and they have been doing it for like the PS5 versions of their first party games are $70. The PS4 versions are $60, and that this has been it has become a more debated thing when Sony began doing it than when these other third party publishers were doing it, for obvious reasons. We don't really like, everyone knows why. Everyone knows why, but this most recent debate was sparked by, I believe it was Paris, from
Game Attack Radio.
Game Attack Radio, thank you. Where he expressed issues with a remake of at this point 10-year-old game being charged for $70, and I guess we can get into discussing the merits of that, and whether Paris has if he has any, what's the word I'm looking for, but validity with his claims, or whether he is mostly just kind of doing what some of these other people doing, which is just console warring. Forte, what is your thoughts on this?
So, all right, let me preface this because I have a different way of looking at this. Well, probably not a different way, because I was one of those people when it came to like games like Returnal. I'm not spending $70 on that game, bro. I was there front line, but it was like mostly due to the fact that I just didn't know what the game was at that time, and I just didn't feel like it was a value for me. Now, that is the key word in this, value for you. The perception of value for you is completely different than the perception of value to somebody else. So I do understand people going out there and saying that they feel like games should not change in price like that when it comes to just having an upgrade to the PS5 version and stuff like that. I can see their logic when it comes to that, but everybody's arguing it from a standpoint that isn't really, it's not indicative of what everybody else, because Sony's doing it because people are buying it, and if they're buying it, then of course the market is going to kind of, it's going to go where the market goes with that. Now, when it comes to this conversation in general, the only reason I agree with most people when it comes to because this has all been sparked mostly by The Last of Us The Last of Us is remaster or remake, I should say. The only reason I'm on everybody's side about this one is because of the whole situation that we're not getting the full game that we got even in the remake. We're not getting what we got on the PS3 where everything was available. We're not getting everything that came in the remake, which had factions and everything in there. Yes, people try to say, well, you're getting all of the bones and stuff that was part of Last of Us Part 2 when it comes to the combat and everything, when it comes to the gameplay style. Okay, but those are all things that were already made. Usually when you're thinking about a full remake of something, it's a full remake, meaning they're redoing everything in the game, but they have nothing to come off of to actually help them bolster the overall, efforts of making that game.
Well, hold on.
We're not saying. I'm just saying
they did rebuild the game, though.
Well, no, they rebuilt the game, but if they rebuilt it's a difference in rebuilding the game from assets that you already have versus making the assets up.
Okay, look. So when you talk about making the assets up, they did take the mocap performances from The Last of Us 1, but they used I forgot what the technique is called, but they used the advancements in performance capture from The Last of Us Part 2 and applied it to Part 1, which that took work to get done.
It did take work to get done. We're not saying that, but it doesn't take nowhere near as much work as they had to do it for. Put it this way, if this was like The Last of Us remake leading into The Last of Us Part 2 and Last of Us Part 2 wasn't here yet, like they was trying to get everybody, pretty much like how they did with Spider-Man Miles Morales, where they did the updates and everything before Miles Morales came out. Well, it actually came out on the same day, but they used a lot of the stuff that was in Miles Morales and updated it in the original Spider-Man game. People really didn't have an issue with that because we didn't play Miles Morales yet. So it was like, okay, they just took the stuff that was going to be in that and they made it better. So nobody experienced it yet. Now, this is something that everybody experienced. We know that this has already been done. You already made these assets. This stuff is already there. It's not like you came from like a sum of zero. You actually had this stuff developed. You just had to take the time and effort to port it and make it work inside of The Last of Us 1, which does take work. But it's still the fact that it was something that was done. It wasn't something that was built from the ground up that they had to make. They already had the assets there.
All right. So here's a question for you. Why wasn't this a highly contested problem with Demon Souls remake?
Because Demon Souls is, you know what the thing is? The Last of Us stuff mostly stems from the fact that this game just got remade. Like
remastered.
Remastered.
We need to make sure that we're using the correct term.
You're right. Remastered. This game just got remastered.
But that remaster came out in like 2014, right?
Yeah, 2014.
So 8 years ago.
And the game came out in 2011.
Have you seen that remaster?
Oh yeah, I seen it.
It don't look like it didn't not age that well. Look, this is what I'll say, right?
Go ahead.
Did this game need to get remade?
No, it did.
But for what they did, this isn't. I would like some people would call this a cash grab. I don't think that's it.
It's definitely a cash grab.
Okay, hold on. Look, I think they got a TV show coming out.
Yes.
And I think they know that some people, because look, they saw what happened with The Witcher 3. When The Witcher TV show came out on Netflix, The Witcher 3 had like a 300% growth in sales immediately. Like there is a direct correlation to quality television leading to people to play a actual game that is based off of. So I think they looked at it and was like, what we don't want is people watching the television show, and we anticipate the television show to hit. I don't know if it will.
Yeah, we'll
know. See. But if the television show hits like the way the Witcher TV show did, people are going to be going back and playing this game and looking at it visually and maybe like, maybe the controls aren't that great. Maybe the gameplay isn't as great as a more modern game would be. And they felt like, let's make this look like its absolute best. Right. That's what I think the motivation was. So if you can say it's a cash grab, I absolutely feel like 2014's The Last of Us Remaster was a cash grab. Absolutely. They wanted people on the PS4 to be able to play the game. And they knew that because of how the cell architecture was with the PS3, that just was not going to be possible with the PS4. So but they still did not want to lose out on people who had just got a PS4, never got a PS3 to miss out on that game. So they did what they did.
That was the reason they did that. But why couldn't they do the same? That's not.
We said, why couldn't they just do a free update of this game?
Well, not even free. It don't have to be free. It could have been $20, $30, a $40 update. Because the PS4 version does work on your PS5.
But here's the other issue, though, right? Factions is now its own thing, completely separate from The Last of Us. It's not nowhere near ready. All they could show us of it was a freaking concept art, which tells me that it's not even in a state where they could show us like a vertical slice of gameplay of it. So it's not ready, but you want this out when around the time the TV show comes out. But you can't have, like, let's say if you made it so like your original The Last of Us Remaster just gets it. You pay some money and you get an update for that. You would be missing out on factions then, because you're not going to get factions with that. Yeah. So right. It's like I can see how that could cause a dilemma, right? I just kind of feel like let's look at the full sum, and I feel the people who have said, factions is not included with this. How are you going to charge $70 when a mode isn't included?
Well, even that I feel like is a little different, because some people just enjoy playing Last of Us by itself.
I was about to say that. Like, this is where I get back to what I've always said about this entire debate. Value is subjective. Right. This is why it's subjective. I don't play factions. So factions not being included in this remake means what to me? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's a mode I didn't play. I played the campaign, enjoyed it. I may have played a half a match of factions, if that. I don't recall ever playing it. So it means nothing to me. Now, there are people on the flip side, people say, hey, you get the Left Behind DLC included in this as well. All that said, this stuff is old. So it's like we've seen like a game release with everything and it'd be like $60. Like freaking Mass Effect Legendary Edition was $60. 3 games, all the DLC, all the expansions, all together $60. Now that said, they didn't put nearly as much work on the visual aspect of things and the combat the way Naughty Dog has done. They've taken The Last of Us Part 2 combat. They have applied it to The Last of Us Part 1. And with BioWare, they just tried to make the shooting controls for Mass Effect 1 a little bit tighter.
Gameplay, they tried to get it as close to 2 as possible.
Yeah, that Mass Effect 1 gameplay still sucks. That cover shooting is still trash. 2 and 3 are better. And 2 is serviceable. 3 is really good. But like it's even then they kept it on Unreal Engine 3. Unreal Engine 3, we're on 5 now. They did a remaster, a legendary edition of Mass Effect that's on Unreal Engine 3, a modified version of it that took advantage of basically any kind of like software tricks they could come up with in order to put into a outdated engine. But still, like, it wasn't going to be what we see here with The Last of Us.
It's still a game of the generation, though, even though they did that.
That's true, very true. But
no matter what they did, the fact that they gave it to us was amazing.
Yeah, I played through. I got it on every platform. I got a Legendary Edition on every platform there is. I played through it on PlayStation. I'm still gonna play through it eventually on Xbox and PC. But like, regardless, what I'm saying is that there's levels to this, and this is what it's always going to come down to. And I have no problem with anybody who says $70 for this game is not worth it. If that's how you feel, I can't complain. I can't tell you that you're wrong. I can't tell you that you're lying or you're capping. But what? That's your wallet. That's your values. If you love factions and factions isn't here, yeah, that's a significant hit to what you enjoyed from that game before. No one has a right to tell you you're right or wrong about that. Likewise, if you look at this, if you see the changes that they made, if you see how they applied the character models from 2, that they improved the mocap drastically from like all the work they put into The Last of Us Part 2 and the 2,000 people who worked on that game and applied those quality of life changes to Part 1. They gave you the combat from 2, which was amazing. All that stuff and the DLC, you say, oh, only for $70? Sure. Because look, what was it, the Firefly edition? That's $100?
Oh, sold out instantly.
In milliseconds.
Guess what's going to happen tomorrow when God of Wars get released? $200 and $250 instantly.
Right.
Gone.
Look, the market bears what is too expensive or not. We can have our own personal feelings on like what we subjectively care for as quality, right? And then these corporations will basically either take the L or get a dub off of whether the pricing that they made of these things is accurate. And when you see that your Firefly edition sold out in seconds,
oh, how can I do that more?
Right. When you see that your games are still selling great at $70, all right, we're gonna keep this going. It is what it is. And so people can be, you could be upset and you can yell, you can scream, and you can do whatever you want, right? I don't believe this is the fair to gamers. Yeah. You're speaking from a very small community of people that have their own opinions, but the greater public feels differently. And the greater public is ones that drive sales. And the greater public is like $70. All right, where do I sign up?
Yeah. I think in general, and shout out to Ramon, he kind of hit on it earlier. Most people probably wouldn't have had an issue with this if it was something like Uncharted instead of Last of Us Part 1. Mm-hmm. Because like you said, we just got a remaster of that game. Some people felt like it didn't need to be happened, versus if they came out and said the same exact thing, especially since we just got the Uncharted movie last year, or was it earlier this year? If they would have came out and said we're redoing or remaking Last of Us Uncharted 1, I don't think anybody have an issue with it. If they would have came out and charged $70 for it, added multiplayer and all this other crazy stuff, I think a lot of people would be okay with that, because that game is something that truly needed it. It truly needs a remake in every source, because that game is just, it does still, even if you play the Nathan Drake collection, it still doesn't play all that great. So it's pretty much like how Mass Effect 1 was. So I think a lot of people will be kind of more in line with that. But I just think in general, if they would have came out and said anything for factions, say they would have came out and said, if even though I guess they don't want to confirm that factions is going to be a free to play thing, because that's kind of what the rumors are being right now, that it's going to be free to play. Even if they would have came out and said that anything that if you bought this game,
I don't know if it's going to be free to play.
I don't know. We don't know.
With the scale of what they're talking about doing, it maybe, because they said they want 10 free to play games, live service games coming out within the next year, right? That'd be next year, but until the next 3 years.
The next 3 years.
Yeah, this might be one of those. So it might be free to play, but I mean, Destiny's a live service game, and that game wasn't free to play for a long time.
It still isn't free to play.
Yeah, like new expansions you need to pay for, right?
Yeah,
so like,
I mean, it's free. It's free to participate.
Right, like live service.
It ain't free to play.
Live service is not synonymous with free to play.
Yeah, Fortnite is free to play, where everything in the game is free. Every season is free. You just have to buy into the battle pass if you want to get the gear out of that season. But Destiny, if you want to partake in everything that's going on in the game, when it comes to the seasonal stuff, yeah, you consider that free to play because you could buy in and not buy in. But if you want those major story beats, you buying that major DLC expansion when it comes out.
Give me 1 second. Looks like Ramon Terrell said something about audio. I don't know whether that's guys. Please let us know if you guys can still hear us or not. I see my levels going up and down when I and Forte speak, but sometimes that could be a false positive with OBS. Okay, TrueServe says we're working. Good.
It probably cut out for a second.
All right, well, Ramon, please, double check your whatever you're listening to us to. Greg says Ramon's earbuds fell out.
Yeah, I was gonna say his earpods died. He just doesn't know it.
Yeah. Okay, we're good. We're good though. We're good to go. Okay.
We're gonna talk about this no more. Just saying.
Oh yeah. This is the last time we talk about this.
Until Saturday when it's mentioned on Scumcast.
Well, as far as DPS goes, we're done with this topic. But my question to you: are you getting the Last of Us remake?
Actually, I will get it. You know why? Because I didn't play the one on PS4, so I didn't experience.
You haven't played this PS3?
Nope,
then
I haven't played this since PS3 because at that point I was like, why? Because I just played the game 2 years ago. So why am I going to play it now? You know, and plus, like Ramon just said, why do I want to be depressed all over again? Because that game was super depressing. But I will buy this one because I do want to see the things that they actually changed, and I think that might be another reason why it kind of shades my thoughts on it a little bit for myself personally, where I wouldn't mind spending $70 because I didn't spend the $60 or what was it, $40 when it came out on the PS4. So this is going to be kind of a new experience for me, and I get a chance to see how they implement the Last of Us 2 gameplay model inside of it, which I think is really, really cool. But yeah, I still can go off on people and tell them like, yeah, I wish they went a different way with the monetization model on it. But I mean, like you said, it's going to be, everybody's different. I'm buying that 260, but I literally just pre-ordered the $250 Callisto Protocol version of the game because I want that collector's edition statue, and I will pre-order that $200 version of the God of War collector's edition tomorrow because it's a game that God of War is my favorite franchise of all. It's like one of my favorite franchises of all time on PlayStation. So I would, like, people always say, so will you support $70 games? Because this was always a conversation when I was talking about I won't buy Returnal at $70. I said, it's not that I won't buy a $70 game. I just won't buy this game at $70 because I don't feel like it's worth $70. And I stood on that until I was able to get it for $40. Now, God of War is a whole different thing because I remember having this conversation with you a long time ago. Name the price of how much a Chrono Trigger can cost you, Slow-Mo, and how much you're willing to spend on it. You already said hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, it depends on the game. Like if you love, if it's your favorite game of all time coming back with like a completely modernized with new assets and everything, you're gonna spend whatever it takes to get that.
Whatever it takes to get. And,
right.
And that was the whole thing. That kind of tells me how people feel in general, because as much as people talk about the $70 price tag, it's all based around Last of Us right now. But we literally have a $70 game called God of War that's releasing later this year, and nobody's complaining about the price on it. They're not complaining that God of War is $70. Ain't nobody said anything about it. It's all about Last of Us because of how people feel that it shouldn't be because of the monetization model and not having stuff in the game. But they're not saying that about God of War, where it's a single player only game, and once you beat it, you got New Game Plus. You might go through one more time, and that's about it. But that just lets you know that people really don't care about the overall substance of the game. They just care about the narrative that game has. If it's a game they actually really care about, if it's a game they really, really want to play. And I guarantee you, a lot of people that are talking about not really liking the $70 price tag on it, outside of the people that wish Fashions was a part of it to have that, those people are probably not even going to play the game. They're just tooting a horn that really doesn't matter, because they're not even going to be a part of the conversation anyways. Because where's that same energy with something like God of War being $70 too? But nobody's saying anything about it because God of War is amazing and it's the newest game and everybody's looking forward to it. So it just, when you sit back and you think about stuff like that, you kind of be like, is there really anger, frustration out here? Or is it just people out here just talking just to talk about something that they really truly don't care about? I really think Luca told the truth on her stream when she said people are just bored.
You're leading into my next question, which I'm gonna get to in a second. So look,
yeah,
for me, I'm not getting this game on PlayStation.
PC, you gonna wait?
Yeah, this is the one time I will wait. I've always been like, I don't wait for games that I want to play. But let me amend that. I don't wait for games that I have never played before.
What?
So Final Fantasy No. Listen there. Final Fantasy VII Remake, right? That was actually not really a remake of Final Fantasy VII. You played the game. Look. I guess I've already been doing spoilers tonight. If you ain't played the game yet, look, that's on you. Final Fantasy VII Remake is not a remake of Final Fantasy VII. It's a sequel.
Yeah.
So it's not really the same game. So it not being the same game means that basically it's a new game for me. And new games I don't wait for. Like, so if it's only exclusive, like when Rebirth comes out next year ish, whatever it is, they said winter 2023. That could be January 2024. Right. So, but when that comes out and it's only on PlayStation, I'm not waiting for the PC version. I'm just going to get it. But this game, I played this game twice. I played this game on PS3. I played this game on PS4. I played it again. I beat it again with the remaster right before playing The Last of Us Part 2.
Okay.
So I've played it 3 times already. I'm good. I want to play it with like the amazing visuals and the upgraded combat. I'll play it on the better platform at 120 frames per second, because there's nothing. I'm not missing anything. What? Some screenshots of stuff I've already seen before? I'm not missing nothing. You know, on PlayStation, it's coming out later this year.
That's true.
On PC, I'll wait 2 or 3 months for that. But I'm not waiting for if let's say Tales of Arise, right, was exclusive to PlayStation for 3 months. I'm not waiting. Playing Tales of Arise, if I want to play that game and it's brand new, I'm playing that game right where it is going to be at, where it's available at, and I'm not going to wait. So but for games I've already played through, yeah, absolutely. God of War Ragnarok, I'm getting it on PS5. I know it's eventually going to go to PC one day.
You'll buy it again there.
Yes, I will. But as of now, I'm getting it on PS5 because I'm not waiting. See, that's the one I won't wait for. Brand new game. This remake of a game I already played, I'll wait for the better version. Yeah. So now my last question about this, and then we can move on to the Q&A session.
Yeah.
When Microsoft Xbox starts charging $70 for their games, are we going to ever hear this debate again?
Maybe initially, just because people going to, PlayStation gamers got to give it back to where it was given to them. So it will definitely be a talking conversation when it happens. But it will soonly die faster than anything once that does happen. Now the question really comes down to, are we going to hold Microsoft to saying something like Call of Duty has to be stripped away from its $70 price tag because it was already $70 before it came out? Are we going to hold them to a pricing standard that Call of Duty was already at before they purchased them?
Hold on. What if Starfield pre-orders go on sale next year, and
And
it's
it goes for
$70.
$70.
And
Oh,
it's
then it's gonna be
$70.
then it's a wrap because that game never had a price point. If it comes
Right.
out of 70 points, I mean 70 points. If it comes out of
70 points.
70 points, if it comes out of $70, then Microsoft got a problem because all these people that talk about they don't want to buy $70
But
games.
how is that really? Has Microsoft ever really come out and be like, "Hey, we don't believe
No,
in charges"? Yeah,
Microsoft
this
has
is
never said that. It's just the fact
this ain't
that
Microsoft problem. This is the
It ain't no
fanboys
Microsoft
problem. This is you created that monster. You put that unnecessary and completely unwarranted expectation on Microsoft that they won't charge what these other publishers are charging.
I think Microsoft should charge $70 so they could push people to Game Pass because that's the better value.
That might be why they would do it.
I think that would be. They already tried to push people to Game Pass
What
with
was
Xbox Live price.
Exactly. They already shown they're willing to charge you double what you used to pay in order to get you to subscribe to Game Pass. And they've already said in a roundabout way. Phil Spencer said it before when it came to the whole Bethesda thing and where those games would be on PlayStation, and he was just like those. You don't care about them sales. Like the PlayStation sales is fine, but we don't care about that. We care about that recurring revenue. We care about Game Pass. So like, yeah, if they did that knowing it would just kind of be like slightly pushed, because like this is all economics, right? Supply and demand, pricing, and the way pricing is, right? Like if you price things, the higher you price things, the less people are willing to pay for it.
Yes.
You price it $10 more, you'll get some people who are just gonna get it on Game Pass, which for them is exactly what they want anyway.
What they want.
So
and I don't want. That's the thing. I don't want people to think that that's what I want to do. I mean, I know I just said that I want them to make $70, but that's mostly just so I can hear all of the narratives that's going to be surrounded around it when people say, Microsoft won't charge $70 for games, and I'm like, well, are they doing it so you'd be pushed to Game Pass? Because I thought that's where everybody wanted them to go. I think that would just be a really, really amazing conversation to have if they actually did it, because I do think ultimately that's, like Microsoft said, that's the platform, that's where they want to be, that's where all the revenue for them in the future are. They rather sell you, I mean, didn't Phil Spencer say they'd rather sell you Game Pass than sell you an actual $70 unit because they feel like they want the recurring revenue more than they just want the one-time sale?
I think he said something to that effect.
Something to that, but it just lets you know what the mindset of them is, and that's holistic throughout Microsoft as a whole. So I don't think anybody will really balk at it, but I do think PlayStation fans won't let them forget that if that actually happens. And I do. It's a good chance that, Starfield, when it does get released, has a $70 price tag on it. If it doesn't, then live to fight another day. But as long as that narrative really doesn't come from like Call of Duty or something like that, because like I said, that game was already 70. But if it's a game that Microsoft made $70 that didn't have that price tag before, that's when that conversation is going to really truly start.
Yeah. All right, we can move on now to our Q&A session. Like I said, it's a slow week. We just basically just had the most interesting things that we could really discuss out of a extremely dry week, and still made 2 hours because you and I can talk, man.
Yeah, we can.
But now this is the point where we can we want the chat to ask questions, and this can go about as long as it need to go. If you guys ain't got a lot of questions to ask, we're gonna wrap this up pretty fast. And if you guys got some questions, we will be here a little bit longer. So chat, please hit us with the questions. We will repeat them and we'll answer to the best of our ability. Okay?
Yep. We will do that. Is this you playing? Who are you watching right here?
This is what I was talking about with Fortnite in the replay. This is a match I was playing with my friend and his son.
You?
Yeah, that's actually me. You can actually have the camera be free.
Oh, that's just Lara Croft.
Yeah, that's Lara. Yeah, so you can actually have the camera be free and just kind of just like look around and follow your character around for the replay. And they do this for every match that you go into. So I wouldn't win because like I said, I keep forgetting to record. And I wanted to have at least one of my victory royales, displayed. So yeah, here we go. So I just hit replay, and then just been playing around with it. It's just pretty cool. You could actually like turn on like some other HD effects and stuff like that weren't present during the game when you played it too, because it's all running off of Epic servers. So cool. It's not that bad.
You know what? I have a question for you, Slow Mo. I always wondered this. What is it that you want to get out of oh my god. Okay, let's get Ramon first. Are you as terrified of Crystal Dynamics continuing the legacy of Kane's story as I am, Slow Mo?
I have never played Legacy of Kain, so I don't care. So I am not terrified at all. What about you, Forte?
I've never played either, so I don't even know I don't even want to know what there is to be afraid of. Like, why would you enlighten us in another post, Ramon? Like, what is it that we should be worried about? Slow-mo, the thing I wanted to ask you was what got you, what made you, what is it that you want to get out of content creation? Like, as a person that does content, what do you want to actually get out of it?
My number one thing I want to get out of content creation is making the kind of content that I used to wish other people would make.
Mm-hmm.
But I would never see it like done the way that I envisioned it could be done. Like, there are some content creators out there that I like. Everything they do, I love. Like, I brought this one YouTuber up before, but Joseph Anderson.
Yeah,
he is like the anti, like, all the stuff that they tell you to do as a YouTuber to get your more exposure, get your content out there, do your thumbnails this way, make your content this way, be consistent with this, drop a video every week. Joseph Anderson does the complete opposite of all that stuff, and all his videos are like a minimum like 500k views. He's amazing, and I think his analysis is spot on for video games. Like, the amount of detail and research he puts in is second to none. So I kind of look at, like, for me, I want to make content based off of the games that I enjoy, and I've got ideas and things that I haven't put out yet, things that I'm still working on, but like think pieces on things, teaching people things. I'm not a developer, but like, I see so many misconceptions about things in the video game industry. They're things that I've learned through research, and I want to kind of show people like what is real and what isn't real, which is why I'm working on a video about game engines, because it's just like I see people just throw around the term game engine for things that it's not the game engine that is why a certain thing is happening in a game at all, right? So
right.
I just want to do that and make the kind of content that I want to make, not necessarily content that other people want me to make, which gets me into situations where people are just like, and it's all well-meaning stuff. People will be like, "Slow mo, you gotta upload more." But if I upload more, it's like, and this is no offense to anyone that does this, it's not the same level. It's not the same level quality of content. It's just like a video where I, from beginning to end, the idea and then the final like product of the video, it took me 3 hours. It's not, I think, a video that like I want to do on my channel anymore. I want my uploaded content to be like, my Elden Ring review was 20 minutes long. My Last of Us Part 2 review was 20 minutes long.
I say you want long form content.
Yes. My black hair in video games video was like 15 minutes, I think.
It would have been longer if you would have got more devs on board.
Right. Look, we ain't gonna get into that. You know,
I know.
It's water under the bridge as far as I'm concerned. But I want to do analysis content that makes people think about the games that they play a little differently than they did when they first played it, and provoke conversation. So that's like, if I can do that, then mission accomplished for me. And that's whether like 5 people watch the video or 5,000 people watch it. I don't give a damn. What about you though? What do you?
What for me? What I want to get out of it? Honestly, just the satisfaction of knowing that I was able to teach somebody something or show somebody something that they didn't know before, something that they thought they couldn't do that they actually could do in just different ways. You know, when I try to make my content, I try to make it based on what everybody should be able to do if you put time and effort into it. Because I'm not special. It's not that, you know, I work a full-time job. I have 2 kids. I have a wife. I have a family. You know, I play games every day. You know, so that misconception of, you know, one takes more precedence than the other really kind of goes out the window. It's all about just making time to do the things that you want to do. So just impacting people as much as I can in that regard by showing them that, hey, if it's important to you, make time for it, because you won't be able to make time for everything. But when it's something that you definitely want to make time for, do it, because not only for yourself will you kind of get gratification out of it, the people that get a chance to see that type of stuff, especially if you're doing content creation, you get a gratification for the things that they get to see that they can do too. So it's mostly about just helping other people realize where they are, because that's what it is. I'm the same way. I kind of make content stuff off the stuff that I like to watch, mostly like how-tos and stuff like that, or just news and information about stuff, because, you know, we don't really have a lot of it. Plus it helps me at work and stuff too, because I you know, even at GameStop, you know, there's a lot of people that don't really pay that much attention to this type of stuff. So I feel like I have kind of a leg up when it comes to that regard. And then it also just gives me more of an ability to just talk about that stuff more. Like doing this podcast and stuff gives me the ability to talk about stuff that I normally wouldn't be so much entrenched or ingrained to have those conversations and stuff like that. So that's what makes me keep doing it. That's why I keep loving doing it, and that's why I'll continue to keep doing it. Erodimus asks, have you ever dyed your hair, Slow-Mo?
Never. I've never dyed my hair, man. Nah.
I have dyed my hair all black before. When I was 15 years old, that's when I started getting.
Now that I think about it, okay, yeah.
Yep. When I was 15, I did it the first time. Yeah. I dyed it all black because I started getting gray at 15, and I dyed it all black. And I did it twice. I did it all black, and I actually did it all red, like a I want to say like a burgundy color when I was like 16 or something.
That's kind of funny.
Look, I was going through like, I didn't want to go Cisco with the
I was just thinking about you trying to be Drew Hill out here. You about to go platinum hair.
It was around those Drew Hill days. But, you know, I didn't want to go Drew Hill with the platinum hair, so I went red. And it literally lasted one haircut, and I couldn't wait to get that off my head.
All right, so I completely forgot about this. Like, this was not a choice. Okay, so look, this. I started going gray in high school, but like when I say started, like it was like literally one hair on my head. Okay, in college, I maybe had 2 hairs. By the time I hit maybe 28, and it kind of runs in my family. My mom went gray early, but she dyed her hair. You wouldn't even known until she was like in her 50s when she finally stopped dyeing her hair because she felt it was appropriate to have gray hair at 50 at that point. But for me, I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm just not interested in having to dye my hair like all the time in order to try to like keep up appearance and stuff like that. I have gray in my goatee. I got gray in my hair, and the only time I dyed my hair was when the week before I got married, my barber was like, he just started putting dye in my hair as he was cutting my hair. And I was just like, yo, what are you doing? And he was like, yeah, I just kind of was just going to, you know, like hook you up for your wedding. I'm like, bro, like, do you even know if this is the right color for my hair? It was too late at that point. I was just like, I was kind of blown, but I was like, man, whatever. Like, I trust my barber. You know, go ahead and finish up. Long story short, I didn't like it. But it is what it is. Nobody like it was done well though, because if you look at my wedding pictures, it looks like if you didn't know me, because my hair is kind of like dark brown. But if you didn't know me, you wouldn't know that like that wasn't like my natural hair color. But it is what it is. That's the only time I've ever dyed my hair, and it's never happened again. Orodimus has a question for you, Forte. Forte, have you ever been in a fight at the store?
I wouldn't be working at GameStop anymore if that happened. They would have been like, listen, we understand that you were like self-defense, but you can't work here anymore.
Yo, when I used to work for a rental-car company, one time I had a man, look, people get angry when they get a reservation. They have a reservation and you ain't got the car. I've had somebody actually like rip our phone off the front counter and launched it at us in the back of the store.
It launched it.
It's always around Thanksgiving. Always like people the angriest around Thanksgiving. So like, yeah, it's been a few times. One time we actually had this guy definitely was a criminal. I was just gonna say he was a criminal. I ain't gonna say exactly what kind of criminal he was. I know what kind of criminal he was, but he accused of one of my employees. This was I was in management in rental car. He accused one of my employees of stealing items out of his car, a car that he at the time was driving illegally. So we confiscated the vehicle before he could get his stuff out, and he came up to my location looking for the vehicle, and I told him we had already, because the vehicle was like in the process of going through this back into the system and everything, had been taken to the closest airport, which was BWI Airport. He went to BWI Airport, he got his stuff out, something was missing. Some Versace sunglasses.
Oh.
So I asked my employee, yo, you see some Versace sunglasses in the vehicle? She said no.
Nope.
Okay, all right, well, you know, I when he called, I said, hey, sir, my employee that drove the vehicle says that they didn't see any sunglasses in the vehicle. I hope you find them. Maybe you didn't have them where you thought you did. This dude was like, nah, your employee lying. I'm gonna go up there and talk to him. I was like, no, you ain't. No, you're not. He was like, yeah, I'll see you in 5 minutes. I'm like, but people was like, hey, yo, I'm leaving. I'm going on lunch break. People was trying to get up out of there. Yo, dude showed up. I was literally the only person left in the store. Dude showed up, came in. He was a Baltimore dude. So back then, it's like Baltimore dudes, they used to wear like shirts that's like 10X, you know, like 10X LT shirt. You know, it come down. It's like they like Casper the Ghost. They come down to the ankle. A T-shirt that come down to the ankle. They wear shirts like that so they can hide what's in the waistband. You know, so he come in and he's like, "You the dude I talked to on the phone? You the manager?" I said, "Yes, I am." The whole time I'm like, "Man, I just got married. I got a kid at home. I am not trying to deal with this, right?"
Right.
But I was like, nah, look, man, this is what it is. We don't have the sunglasses. I'm sorry. And I don't condone theft at all, regardless of who was in the vehicle, illegal or not. So if we find it, I will definitely call you and let you know. Until then, you do not get to speak to my employee. You do not get to just come up in here and demand whatever. So I'm gonna ask you to leave. This man, like, it was like the longest pause in the world. It was like 5 seconds of just like this, we just staring at each other.
Quiet.
And then he just left. No question, didn't say a word, just walked out. And I was just like, for the next 2 weeks, Forte, I had people calling out just randomly. Nobody wanted to be in the office. Everybody's volunteering to go wash cars, clean cars. I ain't never had people volunteer to wash and clean cars. Oh yeah, I'm gonna hook everything up. I'm gonna clean all of our cars. We got 20 cars that's dirty. Hey, I'm cleaning all up. I'll be back. Nobody wanted to be in the office because they thought we was gonna get shot up. But it was
It's like slow-mo. He's slow-mo out here trying to get a shot, y'all. He gonna tell this dude, like, listen, you can't talk to my associate, and we ain't got your day glasses. I go, you were sitting there back in your mind, you're like, listen, man, I'm sweating, but I can't really sweat in front of him.
Exactly, man. I sat down, I sat down, my like I had to like, man, I was breathing heavy after that. I was like, let me just go to the bathroom real quick. Yeah, let me just calm down.
Felix 420, he said, what game would you like to come back or get a remake?
I've said it before, Chrono Trigger. I would love to see a Chrono Trigger remake in the vein of Final Fantasy VII remake. Not necessarily changing the story the way they changed the story. I mean, not change the story, but do a sequel. But just a full-on remake of the actual story of Chrono Trigger, but in a different art style and modernized 3D, looking amazing, all that kind of good stuff. That's what I want.
Yeah, man, it's something I always thought about a lot, and they kind of did it. No, they didn't do it. They just gave us a update. I really would like them to go back and give the original trilogy of Mass Effect that Andromeda treatment. If they ever made those games look and play like Andromeda, Lord have mercy, because that's the one thing Andromeda has. Andromeda got the looks. And it's got the gameplay.
Yeah,
it just ain't got the story.
And the story and them characters
is missing everything else.
Bland and boring. Everybody bland, even the main character. Just everybody. The villain was bland and boring. Everything was bland and boring.
Yeah, the dad was the only stoic one on the ship, and as soon as he got killed, I was like, oh man, there goes the story.
6 minutes into the game.
I said, there goes the story. We riding with the Ryder twins. Let's go.
Stupid Ryder twins. We got another one from Aram. I got Aram. It says, outside of gaming and watching TV, what is the panel's other passionate hobby? You want to go first, or I can go first?
Actually, Funko Pops and Pokemon cards. It's
really?
Like an addiction.
Interesting.
Funko Pops is the true addiction. Like if I was to show you my Funko app with all of my pop figures that I have, oh my God. It's pretty bad. I got like well over 200 pops in my house that I'm looking at on the wall right now. Have like a collage on the wall of I have I'm looking at my app, 223 pops. And of those 223, 97 of them are chases, which are the rare ones, because that's where it kind of started at. That's like kind of an addiction for me. Like it's like the super cheap thing to be addicted to, because they only cost anywhere from like $10 to $20 for each one. Yeah. But I collect the ones. I don't collect all of them. I just collect certain franchises like Star Wars. Like I collected all the Destiny ones. I collect all the Halo ones when they come out. If the PlayStation ones, I usually collect all the first party ones that come out from them. If I get a chance to get any of like the exclusive ones from like wherever retailer they're at and I see them, I try to get them from there. I just recently got the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, or in Lucas or Midness of Madness. I just got the chase version of Doctor Strange of that 2 days ago, which paid $6 for, because I used my discount plus a $5 coupon. That thing goes for $48 online right now. So that's kind of like my little addiction and stuff. And then I collect Pokemon cards, not really to sell them. It's mostly to teach my kids like the value of holding on to stuff, because I used to watch like YouTube videos of people that would like collect, their parents would have like Gen 1 box sets of Pokemon cards sitting in like their attic when they would go upstairs to clean their attic out after their parents passed away. Yeah. And it would just be stuff in the attic that they never knew their parents had. And it's like really, really cool. And I was like, you know what? We always know stuff like that holds its value, especially the longer you have it. So I teach my kids like how to do it, and I use Pokemon cards to kind of do it because they collect, I collect, so it's like more of a bonding thing with my kids and stuff. But yeah, those are my two biggest hobbies. It used to be basketball and football, but once I got older, football became a no-go because football was like, whoo, that was taxing. And basketball, I just got too old, and I just didn't want to. The love of going to the basketball court every day died. So, but then I found other things to take up for it. So, but those are my two things.
That's interesting. I was going to say, well, actually, one of them is one of my things. Now, for me, it's something I mentioned before, reading. Comic books. I started collecting comic books when I was 11. First comic book ever that I bought personally myself was X-Men #1, the Chris Claremont and Jim Lee the new series that they had started, because it was like Uncanny X-Men was the only X-Men book at the time, and then they did a new run, and it was just amazing. Chris Claremont and Jim Lee for like, I think it was like 11 episodes. I said episodes, sorry, issues. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Like some of the best writing X-Men has ever had. Chris Claremont's the best X-Men writer they've ever had. Jim Lee is probably the best comic book artist that's ever existed. Just great stuff, right? And that was like really introduced me to, like, I think probably when I was younger, I wasn't just a Marvel fan. I was actually just an X-Men fan. I just everything X-Men I consumed, and then I started to branch out to like Avengers and Spider-Man and, you know, other heroes in the Marvel universe. But X-Men was always the first love. Reading most like fiction books, mystery, suspense, a little horror, you know, every now and then. Like old school Stephen King was my jam. A lot of fantasy and science fiction, though, a lot of that stuff. But like, I think probably another passion I have that people don't know about at this point is football. Like, I am big into football. I played football when I was younger, but now it's more of like the technical aspects of things. I have a subscription to All 22, and I look at like football film and break it down, and like I discuss it with friends, and we talk about like we'll look at film and we'll discuss like certain players, that what their habits are, what their tendencies are, what they gotta work on, things like that. Like I can get into a breakdown of like, tell me a player to look up, and I'll give you a breakdown of that player and like what they need to work on in the future and what they're doing now, what they're great at, what they're not great at. Like I love looking at stuff like that, because when you just watch a football game on television, you don't see everything. And
no, you don't.
Especially when it comes to like receivers, the secondary and stuff like that. When the camera is out of view, you just don't know what's going on. And like I just going through, even when I played football, I used to love like getting into the film, getting into my playbook. And I was always the guy that knew what my assignment was, like no matter what. So it was all that stuff is just like fascinating to me, and I love to see the way the game innovates and continues to evolve over time, because it's so different than back when I played back then. But anyway, that's the stuff that I'm passionate about.
The All 22 do they show you for all teams, or is it you only get select teams?
I have a subscription through not what I pay for, but with someone else who has a subscription pay. So I got their login. So, but but with their login, I get to look at whatever I want, you know, for the NFL. So I don't know what he paid to get that, but it's pretty nice.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Looking at the all 20 like that, because when I was in high school, that was something we used to look at as the all 22 from all teams and stuff that we played. There's no, like, you think you watching football? Not until you watch the all 22, because the all 22 tells no lies. You can see everything on the all 22, man. So crazy. I love the all 22, man. That's why shout out to you, man. I know you like football. I didn't know you liked it that much that you actually dive into the analytics and advanced stats like that. That's crazy,
bro. Like in the Brap DM, man, we be like me.
Oh, I be watching. I be listening.
We be in there. We like y'all like Enrique think freaking Carson Wentz gonna be the savior for the Commanders. I'm like, bro.
No, bro. No.
Not Carson Wentz, man. No.
Listen. Matt Jones will get to the AFC Championship game before that happens, and I don't have too much hope into that.
What other questions do we have here? Was that it?
I thought I saw another one. I saw was slow mo.
No, I think that's it.
No, that is it. Yeah. Yep, that's it.
All right. Well, I mean, the
first thing I want to say is shout out to the 39 people that's still here. You know, this is like kind of the thing that makes this so great to be doing the show with just Slow Mo and you guys, because we already knew people was gonna fall off because, you know, everybody don't really care about all this stuff, but you know, you guys, you know, are always the ones that sit here and rock out with us no matter what, and we really appreciate that. And shout out to you, Cat Daddy, for having that that he said his pride and joy is that Prince Purple Rain Funko Pop. Shout out to him. You know, I'm telling you,
there's a Prince Funko Pop. That's probably looks amazing.
No, there's everything, bro. There's pops for everything. I got a Jordan Peele pop. I got I got a couple of the
look at the two of us dying together in Battlefield.
It's like, oh look, we like, can you help me? All I gotta do is turn over and hit you with the syringe, and I can't.
You know. Man, that's actually a pretty cool night at Battlefield. No,
yeah, that was fun.
What I was about to say,
Cat Daddy said yes, sir. That Purple Rain, bro.
I completely lost it. But no, damn. There is one more question from Gregor. How many random left-handed interceptions is Carson Wentz going to throw this season? Oh my gosh! Like, I'm hoping 0, but more than likely 3. Oh man, he ended the Colts season last year with that. Like, I cannot believe, like, and that's the kind of thing with Wentz. And I don't want to get too deep into it, but like, he gets into his own head, and he's got all the tools physically to be an elite quarterback. He's got the arm, he's got the size, he's got mobility. He's hard to bring down in the pocket. He knows how to climb the pocket when necessary to buy himself more time to throw and more time to get people open. But Wentz is like, he presses, and he's like in
his own head.
Yeah, he's in his own head, and he doesn't take what's there often, and it's like he wants to be a quarterback that he's not. It's like he as like, as far as his ability to read, recognize plays and make the right decision, he's not the best at that stuff. He ain't horrible, but he's not great either. And it's just like, the dude just makes like really bad mistakes. Then when the pressure's on, he gets worse. And so it's just like, that's when he starts scrambling and then like lobbing a left-handed, pitch to literally the other team directly. And it's just like, what was he thinking? That makes no sense whatsoever. And it's just like, yeah, like this is why he's on this third team in 3 years. So like, I mean, it's pretty freaking obvious that he's not that good. But
shout out to you, Rob the Dot. He said, since we on football, time to go Rams. Listen, man, there was more people. Y'all need to show y'all support for those Rams next year, man. There was more people in Michigan watching the Super Bowl because of Matt Stafford than it was people in LA that was watching the Rams play. It's kind of crazy.
Well, LA has always been a weird city for football. Because they've never really had a team that stuck there for a long time. So it's like, and plus LA is kind of like other cities where like a lot of people who live there are transplants. So
that's true. Yeah,
they're not going to be fans or whatever.
They're fans from so many different places. So.
Right. DC's kind of dealing with that now. Well, it's partially DC used to be big with the Redskins, like one of the most like loyal fan bases in football, and it's just like with them losing, and then also with like a lot of people always coming to this area to work here for the government, but not being from here. They're fans of other teams from other places. Yeah, it's just like it's not even.
I love Gregor's optimistic about. He's probably the truest Cowboy fan I've ever met. Where he says, "Ready for my Cowboys to easily win the division and lose in the first round."
Yeah, but although in true NFC East fashion, because we haven't had a repeat division winner in our division in like 16 years. What's going to happen is the Eagles are probably going to win it this year, and the Cowboys will just disappoint you during the regular season like they normally do, instead of you making the playoffs and just losing in the first round, which is the other thing you guys normally do. But yeah.
Yeah, that would be actually, that'd actually be really cool. Maybe if time permits, we put something together, for the people that like football and stuff. We could do like a show or something like that where we talk about it for like an hour about the weekend and stuff like that. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Yeah.
I would definitely let it go because talk about how my Patriots are doing their thing. But before we get up out of here, who do you have? What is your Super Bowl looking like? Early Super Bowl pick. Not gonna hold you to it, but who you think is gonna be there?
Oh, this is. I don't know. This is really rough for me because a lot of the teams that I don't know, like there's so much turmoil this past off season. Like Russell Wilson is in Denver.
He's in Denver now.
Seattle isn't even a question. I think the Rams will probably go back. I'm thinking like it's way too early to tell, but I'll play it simple now. The Rams will go back, and let's say. Nah, the Chiefs would be too easy of having a resurgence.
But remember, they don't have cheated no more.
They don't. But like elite quarterback, exactly. You got an elite quarterback, so you can overcome that. Yeah. Like Rodgers has been playing like with a rotating cast of people for years, but he still. I
don't know. I think he's gonna fall off this year though without Devontae Adams.
We'll see.
I'm like he's not gonna fall off the planet, but I think
right.
It's just not going to be as potent as it was over the last couple of years. That person just dolphin dived out the window.
AFC, I don't know. I don't know about AFC right now. NFC, Rams, AFC, Bills. You don't think it's a good? The Bills finally.
Oh, the Bills.
The Bills will finally make it to the.
So you're thinking the Bengals were a one-time trick pony?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to get deep into it, but look, I like their QB, but I think it's more really the rest of the team that it won't be quite ready for prime time.
Ready for prime time, yeah. So I'm thinking the Chargers are going to make that move, and they're going to get to the championship. I think Justin Herbert's going to take that step this year. I really do. I really like Herbert a lot. Yeah. I think he's going to make the jump. And there's something about San Francisco not letting Jimmy G go. I don't know why, but for some reason, if Jimmy G is this, and this is only if Jimmy G is still the quarterback.
Jimmy G is not.
Jimmy G is the quarterback.
He's not the quarterback.
He is. He's still there on the roster. You think he go? No, there's a reason he's still on that roster.
The reason he's still on the roster is how much money they got to pay him.
He ain't going nowhere, bro. I don't think. Listen, as much as they want the Trey Lance round, Trey Lance to start. As long as they want that to start, I don't think he's gonna be ready.
Look, if Trey Lance was going to be good enough, he would have already taken Jimmy G's job. Jimmy G isn't that good. He's not a horrible quarterback. He's just pedestrian. He's average. And if Trey Lance was really going to be a franchise quarterback, he would have proven himself to be the starter by now.
Already.
So neither one of them are really the answer that they need. Trey Lance, they're going to probably give him a shot eventually next year.
Oh, they got to. All that money they put into, all those picks they put into him.
Right. But more than likely, what you're going to end up getting is Jimmy G is probably going to get injured this year again.
Well, if that happens, then all bets is off.
He's probably going to get injured again this year because he can't stay healthy. And if he does play, he's not going to be anything better than a game manager. He's not a guy that's going to win games for you.
I think realistically, I think it's going to be Rams versus Chargers, because I think the fact that the Rams picked up Bobby Wagner to play middle inside linebacker, I think
pairs. You think the Chargers will get past the Bills or the Chiefs?
I think this is the thing. I think the Bills is going to, because they went on they got screwed last year. Let's be for real. The flip of the coin did not go in their favor when they played against Kansas City in that playoff game where Mahomes got the ball and Josh they never got it back.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of screwed them, and it's kind of hard to I mean, listen, it's a reason that you don't have too many repeat teams. I think that they're going to get beat up more. They got really, really lucky not having any major injuries or anything throughout that whole season. And it's just hard for me to believe that not saying injuries are going to be a thing. It's just going to be hard for me to believe that they could play as well as they played in that playoff game last year and replicate that again. Because that was like one of the best games I've ever seen.
Oh, it was a great game.
They played against Kansas City. That game was like, wow. But then it was just like that. I just think the AFC's gotten too much better. And I think there's teams that's going to definitely step it up and take it to another level that I don't think they're going to walk into the games with people like, are they the same old Bills, or is this going to be the new Bills? I think everybody knows that these Bills can't be played with, so they're going to go into it with their real A games, and let's see how they stand up to that. That's why I kind of
felt like that was the case last year, though, because last year wasn't the first year they really came out like that. Like 2 years ago, they really showed that they were like, when Josh Allen really started to show out is when people realized like you couldn't take Buffalo lightly anymore. And then last year was supposed to be the year that people was like, okay, like now people know who you are. Can you still do it? And they still did it. So like, I think they are, I don't know, like I look, it's real early and everybody always like takes at this point the teams that look dominant last year as their picks this year. Of course it changes as injuries pile up, as players don't live up to expectations or start to be on the downswing in their careers, or other players show that they're better. Like you start to adjust as time goes on. But as of now, I just think like you gotta go with the Rams and the
Rams and the Bills are their chalk. And I think the Rams is going to be probably favored. Emmanuel is dropping some knowledge on the chat on you. He says, go ahead and read his message at the
drop the dislike for dropping spoilers without warnings. There's no such thing as this game came out X time ago, so I can just casually spoil it. Bad sports slow-mo, and yes, I'm behind. Emmanuel, whose fault is that? Is what I got. Whose fault is that, man? I say spoilers about games that came out years ago and the game that came out like a month ago. Like it's gotta keep up, bro. I'm sorry, and yet I'm not sorry. So, but no, but before we get off this and do our outros, Terry McLaurin got his extension. This man has outperformed almost every wide receiver that was in the 2019 class with him. He was a 3rd round pick, and he's had 8 quarterbacks in his 3 years. This man, if Carson Wentz can stay upright for a full season, Carson Wentz still sucks, but he's the best quarterback. Yeah, like he's the best quarterback this kid's had.
That's
he sucks.
True.
So that look, Terry McLaurin gonna be an All-Pro this year. Watch.
Would you rather have him or Dak Prescott? That's the question. Would you rather have Carson Wentz or Dak Prescott?
I would definitely rather have Dak Prescott, but then, you know, screw the Cowboys. I can't stand the Cowboys. Let's just get up out of here. Forte, go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you, sir.
Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. It's been a good show, man. Nothing to talk about, but we made it work, and it was fun, man. I really appreciate everybody that came through. Myself, Gaming Forte, everywhere: YouTube, Twitter, Xbox Live, PlayStation. Check us out on DPS next week on my channel. Enjoy the week. We'll be on Scumcast for a lot of you guys that's going to come through on that on Saturday. So come through and check us out over there. And great job as always, Slow Mo. And you definitely pulled a rabbit out of the hat with this one, and we made it work. So yeah, shout out to everybody that came through, and enjoy the weekend and enjoy the games you're playing.
Bad. And for me, Slow-Mo Backslap on literally everything. This channel is, of course, named Slow-Mo Backslap, but Twitter and Twitch are of the same name. But I think I might do with Twitch, because I haven't streamed on that since I moved Lunchtime with Slow-Mo to YouTube. I will continue to do Lunchtime with Slow-Mo on YouTube, but on the times where I may decide to stream at night, or you stream at any other time where it's just kind of like a random thing to do. Like when we decided to do Fortnite last Saturday, I'll probably do that on Twitch, you know, just to make sure that like Twitch is still getting some content put to it. And I've thought about Restream, but I think I'm gonna pass on Restream just because I'm not feeling it. But you know, all that said, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week and enjoy your games, man. We're out.
Shout out to you. So shout out to Aronimus saying, I'm surprised no Halo slander today on the co-op. Listen, man,
you want some slander real quick? Hold up. We can do that. We can do that real quick. Look, how come they got a tether? How come they got a tether like it's State of Decay 2 out here? Why? Because they had to make it a cross-gen game. That's why they got a tether. You can't go 5 feet away from the host of the game without getting insta-killed. Great job, 343. The only positive I will give it is that it does give you progress towards your progression of your campaign, even if you're not the host. But out here, every Master Chief looking together, looking the same Master Chief, 4 Master Chiefs running around, and they we did, you know, it was an aesthetic thing or whatever super stupid excuse they gave. This excuse was trash. Don't make no sense. It don't make sense to see 4 Master Chiefs running around. So what does it matter if I'm looking at my multiplayer character or not? Dumb diddy dumb. It was terrible. The stream sucked. That random black guy who kept like acting all extra the whole stream, annoying. Sucked. It sucked. There you go, Aronimus. You got your slander. All right, we're out.
Peace. You was waiting for that. I knew what I said that you said, oh, you want your slander?
Eyes of Guardian.
Wipe yourself off, man. You did.
Eyes up, Guardian.